What's up, wrestling fans? It's Wednesday night. Wednesday night, so you know what that means. It's time to review Wednesday Night Dynamite, AEW Dynamite. It's October 16th, 2019, I believe. I don't remember shit anymore. It could be any year at this point. For me, I have no idea. What's up to the chat? We're just getting started, getting the live feed going, getting the alerts out to everybody. What did you think of AEW tonight? A lot of opinions about tonight. This is the third episode so far ever of AEW. And of course, NXT going down tonight as well. So we're going to have some... we're going to hear a little bit from some of the people that watch NXT tonight and see what they have to say about NXT and AEW.
This is Wardlow from AEW, and you're watching The Joe Cronin Show.
A wrestling podcast with attitude. Over 50 million views. You're listening to The Joe Cronin Show.
The Joe Cronin Show.
The Joe Cronin Show.
I hope you hang your mother.
This country sucks! This place sucks! CNN masturbated all fucking day. Dude, I will eat your fucking asshole out and then spit it into your mouth, baby bird style. Who wants to go? Call the show. I'll fuck your ass! I wanna kill myself!
Let's go in the chat. How's everybody doing?
If I think it sucks, I tell you!
The Joe Cronin Show.
Row!
All right, let's get into this, man. The first thing I will say, first of all, thank you for the people chiming in with the donations. All the donation alerts are on as always. Much appreciated if you guys want to do that. We'll have to create some kind of AEW title or something for people. I don't know. What I will say about this show tonight that I can tell you right now is definitely, in my opinion, this was definitely the worst of the 3 episodes. This was definitely the weakest, I believe, of the 3 episodes so far. That's my opinion of AEW tonight. If you were to say which one was the one that you would, if you could discard one of these episodes, you know, which one is it going to be that you would do that to? And it would probably be this episode. So, that being said, I have to kind of think about this a little bit, and I'm kind of, oops, I didn't mean to put that up there. And I'm kind of going to base my, kind of got to think about everything that I saw tonight all over again as I try to base a score here on this show. But while I do that in my own head and I turn this heater off that's making all this noise.
This is Wardlow.
Hey, Wardlow, when are you ever going to show up on AEW TV? I don't know. Does anybody know where Wardlow is? I mean, I thought there was all these vignettes for him, and now he's gone away. I mean, potentially, I guess they're saving him for like a later debut, which that's cool. But that's kind of weird. I really wish I asked Cody Rhodes that. That was on my list to ask him. I had a list for Cody Rhodes, and I didn't ask it. But AEW Dynamite, Jake, what's up, brother?
What's going on? Yeah, NXT had an okay show tonight. But Darby Allin, that match was great. I'm confused by the rope break.
No, they didn't.
Fight.
It's not. They fucked up. I mean,
that's. I don't know if that was just like, you know, an oversight, or there is rope break in a Philadelphia street fight. we've seen them do those type of weird rules in WWE before. We're like, oh yeah, you can have rope break in a cage. So I'm not sure if that's what the kind of thing they were going for, but I would actually get rid of the first episode over this one. There were things about this one that I liked more than the first episode.
Really?
Yeah, the Britt Baker match was excellent. I really enjoyed that. I haven't been huge, about Riho so far, and tonight she actually looked and felt like a champion to me.
Yeah, I thought by the end of it, sometimes when I watch her, I just go, "What the hell? She's small."
Yeah, and then at other times it feels like, oh, she's just the Asuka of AEW. You kind of get that kind of feel to it, and talented, but
I don't really treat her like Asuka. She's more like Kairi Sane to me. But
yeah, I mean that might be a
Asuka feels like a real fighting, like somebody who can actually. To me, Asuka feels like somebody that can kick somebody's ass. Yeah. Like Riho is like sometimes I would go, I don't know.
But I like they played up, her veteran nature. That's the kind of thing when you see a roll up, usually it's ridiculous or it's just, a lack of options. That made perfect sense. Britt Baker's really focused on the lockjaw and, has her mind set on getting the victory, any means possible. And she's got tunnel vision. And Riho, the veteran, took advantage of that. So that was a great outcome, and, things like that. And it just made her look more like a champion.
Right.
Plus the match that when she won the title, I don't think was that great either, unfortunately.
So what would you? I'm trying to remember what I gave the first two episodes. I feel like I gave both of the first two episodes like an 8 out of 10. I think.
The first one I gave an 8, and that was a lot of hype, excitement with it too. Tonight I would probably stay in that consistent 8 block. There was unfortunately, the SCU, the whole opening was great.
The opening was the best thing about tonight. The way they opened was like, wow, what's going to happen? And then, dude, right away I started thinking, oh, they're going to come back out and get attacked later. That's how they're going to get out of, the whole Jungle Boy, or rather Luchasaurus being injured. We'd picked the, Luchasaurus and all them to win and to go on. And
I thought Lucha Express was going to be the ones to actually...
Jurassic Express,
excuse me. Yeah, they were going to be the ones to go ahead and take the tag titles. And when you hear Luchasaurus is injured, it's like, oh, what awful timing. And that seems to be, the nature of wrestling lately, the worst timing possible. I mean, it's never a good time to get injured, but
that's why I thought the attack happened, because I was like, well, Marco's stunt and Jungle Boy beating Lucha Brothers, I was like, no way I take that seriously right now. I just don't.
Especially not Marco's stunt, but you figured maybe there was some way.
Well, I thought interference. I thought, okay, well, they attacked someone earlier, so now...
that's what I was going off. I was like, maybe there's some way we'll get some type of tussle, and then they'll make Jungle Boy really look like a God among men in that case. The real David and Goliath thing comes about as you either get a good distraction option, but he still looks good, or but I didn't want to see them get eliminated this quick. Unfortunately, you can't have them get distracted every week and make it to the finals. So,
right.
You can't have them just get by the skin of their teeth. They want a dominant tag team. But the unfortunate part is with that SCU match, right off the bat, great build up, to the actually getting to the match.
Right.
And, Scorpio Sky has to come out. He's got one friggin' shoe on.
That when he ripped his shoe off, the crowd loved it. And then when he threw it, he had the crowd going. That crowd wanted to cheer. And when he did that, just that passion of fucking, I'm going to throw my shoe now, lit the crowd up. And then, unfortunately, I feel like this Philadelphia crowd was not really paid off during the real show. I mean, in the After Dark thing, who knows what's going to happen. But
yeah, there's a lot more to come. But unfortunately, that whole botch at the end of that match with the powerbomb botch finish, it didn't, the drop kick was really late, and it just looked sloppy, so that kind of took away from it, but still a good match overall. But I'd probably give tonight an 8 overall for what we got, and it's still a good competitive 8. And it was certainly, even with an 8 here, I have NXT to the side of me. I'm paying attention to more AEW than anything, but NXT just it felt lacking in any story or progression at this point. And that's the unfortunate part of it. And I was so big on NXT week 1. Week 2, AEW really kind of came together for me. It made more sense. We started seeing this coalition of units and squads again. And all right, we're going to get factions. We're going to get story-driven, antics. And it just started to make more sense. Came together better.
Well,
but
I'm going to shock people tonight because people are going to be like, what happened to the dick sucking of AEW and all these type of things. But when I run down this list, and we're going to take your calls, guys. We're going to take phone calls in a few minutes. I'm going to play the donations. We're going to hear what you guys have to say, all that stuff. But real quick, my initial thoughts is loved the way AEW opened up. It was a wonderful opening. It really was well done. It got everything going, got everything exciting. But then Best Friends... whatever you want to call it, the tag team tournament match. I'm trying to find the there. SCU wins by pinfall to advance. So this match was all right, and they lit the crowd up. It was exciting. It was fun, and when it ended, the crowd was ready to go. They did a great job. Number one, advancing the tournament storyline. Number two, the surprise at the beginning, and number three, getting the crowd pumped up. They really executed a lot, really well done. I would give this whole beginning and opening and match, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Not necessarily like a match I would go back and watch a million times. I'm giving it an 8 based on, they got the crowd into everything, and it was just a successful opening. So all around, I'm kind of including the opening into this. The match itself as a match, I guess it's more like a 7 out of 10, something like that. But I'm going to just say the opening and the match, everything done, 8 out of 10, good job. Then we get, what the hell is this? Santana and Ortiz via pinfall. Oh yeah. So what am I? What the fuck is wrong with me, dude? Am I having a fucking brain aneurysm right now? Anyway, go back to the beginning. I'm fast forwarding to the end, and I'm talking all over the place. The bottom of the line is Santana and Ortiz win the first match. Against SCU. Jesus. I'm mixing the tag matches together in my head. I'm losing my mind.
A lot of tag matches too. So,
but still, yeah. So good little opening, whatever. Santana, Ortiz, they get put, they get some spotlight for the people that didn't know who they were. So nice opening. Wasn't as good of a match as last week with the Young Bucks. So, and it is what it is. Rio and Britt Baker, I thought they had a pretty good match that got better as it continued. So that was good that the match got better and better as it continued. It started really weak. They started losing the crowd, even though the crowd was cheering for them at the beginning. The crowd, again, trying to will the women on almost, in spite of what I thought was bad stuff at the beginning. Then eventually it got better. So this match overall, I would give probably a 7.52 or 7.
The mat wrestling in the beginning was not... They just couldn't sync up. You get the usual
a lot of
arm drag
missteps.
stuff like that, and then everything on the mat when they got down, let's reach for the ropes, and the crowd just, like you said, they couldn't be damned if that was the case. So it didn't look like this is what they were trying to accomplish right away.
Somebody on Twitter, I don't know if you're listening, but this is a real retarded thing to say to me. Fans chanting "It's a street fight," not making these Philly hardcore fans happy right now. I wrote. And Ryan Evans said, they got them into it. That's all that matters. That's not getting them into it. That's them asking for something else. You dumbass.
Rope breaks and you're in Philly. You got.
It was weird, dude. Home
of hardcore, essentially.
Let me get through this real quick, and then we can break down everything and get into it. I just want to run through this real quick. The women, I gave like a 7. Rio wins via pinfall. They did a good job of actually making her seem like a champion by the end of the match. So that I will say I think did work. Because for a while I was like, man, I just don't buy this tiny thing as the champion. And by the end of it, I kind of did. So it was better. It was good. They needed to do that. They need to get her some wins. She'll become more believable the more wins that she gets. Even if you look at her and go, I'll never believe her. Well, you should after a few of these, So I'm starting to, and I was pretty cynical. So good job by Britt Baker and by Rio to eventually get over and get it going and saving what could have been a real bad match at first, it seemed. And then they did have it was just weird at first, but then it got much better. So like a 7 out of 10. It was all right. Lucha Brothers Jurassic Express, they had a pretty good match. Again, it was, the height advantage and the size advantage. Marco's stunt was a little bit mistimed here or there. It was kind of funny. It definitely suffered because Luchasaurus wasn't there, I felt.
Yeah, the match, because you figure they had to take their whole plan, throw it out the window.
Right.
And basically work themselves into something else and try and make it look believable, too. The size disadvantage, Marco's stunt doesn't certainly seem as believable as a wrestler compared to his, compadres. So unfortunately, the whole feel of it just was off. But they made it work, and that's why I give them so much credit. You know, that I really I came into this kind of like him and Han, like, oh, this is just going to be a quick squash, or we'll have some type of interference, but they'll find a way to have Jurassic Express still lose. And that wasn't the case. So I was pleasantly surprised with how much, how many moments we got that were actually fully entertaining.
There was a nice Cody Rhodes little like video package thing that happened. That was okay. Nothing crazy, but it was nice, and the exposition was good. Well done.
Also, after Santana and Ortiz had their squash match, Jericho was on the video screen, their version of the Titantron there. And I thought that was a good little moment as well.
That was good, yeah.
I just wish one of them wouldn't keep yelling over Jericho.
Yeah,
you could hear them on the mic at the end.
I don't know what that was. I'm betting that was them. They were killing time because they didn't know when that promo was going to end. So they just continuously screamed at the camera, waiting for them to come back. But I blame that on the audio guys in the back. That's the TV production crew that should have turned down that camera mic or done something to it while that promo was playing.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it was like Jericho was like, "I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to send my guys. I'm going to send my." It was weird.
It's my time. It's our time.
Yeah. I did notice it. So I mean, people can say nitpick or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it probably is a nitpick in a way. But honestly, as a fan, I was sitting there and I was thinking about what the fuck. I can't hear, like, who's screaming right now?
Yeah, you couldn't hear Jericho the entire time, but they did lay out a challenge to the Young Bucks.
That was cool. I like that. That was very cool how it was like, I'm going to sick my guys after you and the Young Bucks, and I don't think anybody believes they're going to beat the Young Bucks, but pretty cool thing. I liked what they did. It was like a boss. It reminded me of the Shredder in a Ninja Turtles video game, like coming on the screen of the Ninja Turtles in the sewer.
Yeah, you got Bebop and Rocksteady out there.
You will face off against my foot soldiers first. Like it was so like Nintendo game boss situation with Jericho there. This was it. There's an image from it. It really was like he was.
Yeah, with
Turtles, I'll tell you. It was just so funny, man. Like, I don't know. So I like that. I liked it a lot. And I wish we had a little bit more of that type of stuff tonight. I felt like there was a little too much focused on the wrestling when there wasn't a ton to offer from all of it. But anyway, moving forward, the Lucha Brothers in that match, that was all right too. 7 out of 10. 1 point, Rey Fenix. I mean, Christ, man, that guy does a suicide rolling dive out of the ring that like is a torpedo shot that is the most insane thing I think anyone's done. I think Darby Allin has one that's really good, but my God, Rey Fenix was like a
missile.
Russian cruise missile.
Perfectly accurate, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like then we get to the end, or no, we're not to the end yet. We're in Jon Moxley, Pac, Hangman Page, and Kenny Omega, and I said earlier in my predictions, I was like, well, I thought maybe that they were going to do a turn here, but I was worried they were going to do that, and then that would end in, Omega and Moxley already being teamed up. But that seems to be what's going to happen eventually, and I thought Page would actually flip too. They really need to flip Page heel, and keep Pac heel, or Pac heel, and then you got Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega probably going to team up at some point.
Seems like it, but
and can JR stop saying like the chemistry they have? Like it's very weird. And
it was driving me nuts.
The reason why I'll tell you why it's happening. The reason why poor JR is saying chemistry, and he's not wrong. He's absolutely right. But what it is this guy used to call wrestling matches, and what's been going on with JR over the last like fucking 7 years is the guy's been doing so many interviews, so many podcasts, which are shoots on the business. That you start talking about guys' chemistries, and when they got in there, their chemistry, and they had no chemistry, they had a lot of chemistry, and then when you're watching this happen, you can't help but think, oh man, they've got such great chemistry. But wait a minute, JR, don't say that. Like you're not supposed to say that they have chemistry. Like you're supposed to say that I mean, maybe
the dynamic between these two is unparalleled.
Or like, something special is going to happen when these two get in the ring. You can say all those things, but you don't really want to say like, wow, they've got great chemistry, because that makes people think like, oh, their chemistry and this is a work and the dance, it's like a dance. Like, oh no. So, like, you know, maybe no one else has a problem with that, and I'm crazy, but did you? I mean, that bothered me. I was like, oh, JR,
I didn't pick up on that so much.
Okay.
My critique came before the match. I wish we got to hear Moxley speak live. We again, I mean, at least this week it was on the actual TV program, but it was a picture-in-picture, and I think it would have better stated his case had he come out and spoken as he was either walking down to the ring or already been in the ring. You know, they could have had a little more time to figure that out, I think.
Yeah, I mean...
especially with him. He's so trustworthy when it comes to promos.
Yeah.
You know, walk and talk. Here you go, John. Walk and talk. Go to the ring and say what you're going to say. And he can get out everything he needs to. You know, because he sounded great there. You know, I'm the top of the food chain. At Full Gear, I'm going hunting. You know, it's like, damn,
right.
He just sounds so impressive. And you think of how much we missed out on while he was fucking around with a hot dog cart in WWE.
Oh, God. It was just, there's so many missed opportunities. But I got to, I'm going to break for 1 second to play one donation here. We got a lot of them coming in. And then I'll finish this off. Super chat.
AEW was great. Pretty sad. Dark was better than Raw.
Mr. Mosby, thank you for the $2 super chat, man. What's up, Mosby? I know we got a lot of super chats and stuff lined up and donations. If you want to donate the regular way, it's in the description box below. It's Twitch alerts or Streamlabs. Use that if you can. It's PayPal, use your credit card, whatever it is. And all the donation amounts and what they do are listed way at the bottom of the description box if you care to do that. You don't have to do anything. You can just hit the like button and hang out. But if you want to keep me on the air and keep these shows going and show the love, that's the best way to do it, I guess. But yeah, you know, again, like I'm obviously a huge AEW fan. Love the shit out of AEW. You know, I'm not. This was this was their weakest show. I mean, I really just feel like it, or at least like it had. Maybe it's not that it's their weakest, which isn't a bad thing because it's still way better than WWE, way better, right? I haven't given WWE a good score in a long time, but
yeah,
you know,
if I was thinking about
it was steady, Jake. It was like steady. It was like
yes,
like
it was constantly enjoyable, and that's why I said I'm still sticking with an 8. I enjoyed tonight.
Yeah,
and you look at tonight, you know, compared to Raw, Monday was tedious. At least you're alive tonight. Mm-hmm. You're awake.
Yeah, I didn't even need coffee
at all.
Yeah, I didn't need coffee. You know, and by the way, I was tired tonight. I felt the same way I did on Raw sometimes. I was like,
you're not even overly thrilled with tonight. You're not hating on it, but you're not like, oh my God, this is the best ever.
Yeah, for me,
you're admitting there's some issues, and you're still awake, and you're still enjoying it. So
I think someone should have been busted open in the main event bigger than they were. I know the Darby was bleeding, and it was ugly. But it's just like, yeah, the main event, whatever, the Kenny Omega stuff.
I think that was the most he could bleed, Joe.
Yeah, but
he's a small guy.
You know, but dude, like I saw Moxley. I don't know what the Philadelphia crowd's going to get in the dark matches, but
I'm not sure either. We'll find out in a few minutes.
Joey Janela and Kenny Omega. Did you watch the dark match?
Yeah, that finish too, especially. I mean, I waited to see the whole match, but that finish was incredibly badass.
The first
on
half
the chair.
Oh yeah. Like it was like he threw him off the top rope. By the way, I called the match like in that fan cam video. I actually just put the audio of that up against the real TV broadcast. It looks kind of funny. I'm going to tweet it out later just for the fun. Just something I do for fun. It's funny. But no, it's just like I felt like I saw such a complete show last week. Like I saw Private Party and the Young Bucks. You know, I saw Jericho and them come down and cut that promo and all these other things. I felt like I saw this amazing variety. And then at the end of the night, we see this hardcore match or lights out match or whatever they called it with Janela and Omega. And I felt the first half of it was a slow burn. But then once they get halfway through it, they really picked up the pace. And it was just to me, that's a match I really loved. That reminded me of the matches that we used to try to put together back when I was wrestling or when I was even in backyards and stuff. It's like, we're going to do this, then we can do that. But it also kind of felt real. It didn't feel like they had all these spots planned. It felt like they were really having this match. And to me, that was a top 10 match of the year, to me. Like of anywhere, of anything, of whatever I've seen all year. Omega and Janela was the top 10 match of the year. I don't know where on that top 10 list I'd put that yet, but to me, that's what it was. So Philadelphia tonight felt a little more quieter, you know, for what they got. And then the ending, Moxley turned on Pac. I thought that would happen. It did. I thought maybe Hangman would flip as well. I thought we would see two guys flip here in this match, but I guess they're not ready for that yet. Potentially that will happen, actually. You may get that happen when they face each other. Like one of these guys are going to run out
My favorite part to this entire match was such a overstated but yet super simple thing. It meant so much, but Pac did not want to get disqualified. He didn't want a loss.
Right.
And that is so important here because wins and losses matter. And if you connect to what he said last week,
right,
he should be facing Jericho for the title. He should be the champion. He should be the guy. So just that alone made such a difference to me with him caring about not getting disqualified.
Well,
it wasn't like it was for a title or anything. Like just the fact that, oh, wow, they're really stating, or overstating that wins and losses do matter. Not only are you seeing their record when they come out, but that right there showed that, like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to, you guys can finish your fight later, in the hardcore sense.
Right.
Let's just win this now. And then, of course, Moxley lays him out with the, double arm underhook DDT there. I don't know what they call it now. It's not
it's called the paradigm shift.
Oh, that's right. From his promo. And it's like, holy shit, like that to me made such a difference because they cared about an outcome. They care about winning. It's
Pac did.
50-50 booking.
Moxley's kind of unhinged and he's thinking ahead to
exactly.
I'm
so
gonna
it goes
get
with
Omega.
his character as well.
Yeah.
And that, so we got
Pac
more,
just didn't. He didn't just turn on somebody because I'm gonna be bad now.
Exactly. There was a motive for his character developing more.
It's the same thing.
Same thing with Dean. Moxley. I'm always going to call him Dean. He didn't give two shits. He didn't care if he wins or loses. He was out there to dispel justice, basically. So it's more character development than we get in a night in months elsewhere. So I just really, really appreciated that they made sure that was known and it mattered.
The last match real quick to wrap it up, and then, we're going to be on for a while here. We're going to take your calls. We're going to play the donations. We're going to tell you more about what we think. There's some news out there. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. But real quick, I just want to finish off going through the matches real quick to give you my initial take on these things. Jericho and Darby Allin, I thought it had the potential to be a really, really exciting, fun main event. Instead, I don't think that's what we really got. I thought we got kind of a rush. They were sort of rushing at times to get to what they needed to get to. The bottom line is eventually Darby Allin gets his hands tied behind his back, and then he basically goes Orange Cassidy for the end of the match. And because of that, to me, that demeans Orange Cassidy's fucking gimmick, because Orange Cassidy can, who cares? Like, oh, look, Orange Cassidy, he can do it too. Like, what's the big deal? So Orange Cassidy was fucking declawed tonight because who cares? Everybody else can do it too, Orange Cassidy. Not that I don't even like Orange Cassidy's gimmick, but it was just kind of funny to watch this guy have to do that. And all I could think about was, wow, Orange Cassidy must be in the back, like, oh my god, like my gimmick isn't special anymore.
Because now you're not just in your pocket, you're tied behind your back.
Yeah, it really, dude. Like, and Darby Allin's like doing all these flips and all these things, and just like, I wasn't really, I wasn't into it.
He hit the moonsault still tied up too, right?
It was pretty cool. Like, it was like, holy shit, dude, this guy's really doing this with his fucking hands tied behind his back. That was cool, but again, it never got to be a real match. It was always kind of a gimmick. Because of that. Then you had the rope break that just made me groan. The crowd wanted tables. Jericho's not going to go get a table because Jericho's a heel and he doesn't want to make the crowd cheer for him again because they already were cheering for him anyway. So it would have been better if Darby Allin had gotten a table. How you're in Philadelphia and you don't know that you need to go get tables and like do something crazy, I really don't understand that. Like, I don't understand. I thought it would have been cool if maybe Jericho had pulled out if Darby Allin had pulled out a table with barbed wire wrapped around it, like three, not a lot, just like 3 or 4 strands of barbed wire around it, and they'd put it in the ring, that crowd would have exploded for that. If there was just 4 layers of barbed wire around the table, and then Jericho could have powerbombed Darby Allin through it while the guy's hands were tied behind his back. I thought it was really, really, really unfortunate that they didn't do something better in front of this crowd in that main event that was a street fight. Never did it really feel like a street fight. And then a guy grabbing the ropes to break it up. I thought to be honest, if WWE had done this and they had advertised a street fight in Philly with some kind of hype behind it, and that's what you got, the fans would have booed and flipped out. The fans would have chanted AEW. But because this was AEW and Darby Allin did some kind of cool things with his hand behind his back, the crowd went, okay. But they wanted fucking tables. This crowd wanted tables. They wanted just a fucking street fight, dude. Like, they did not get that tonight. That was seriously disappointing to me from AEW. I am surprised as hell that AEW did not have something better than that planned. Tables outside. I mean, I literally just watched Joey Janela and Kenny Omega in Boston tear the house down with chairs, ladders, tables, all kinds of shit. It was a fucking match of the year, top 10 match of the year. And now we have a street fight on main event television in Philadelphia when they know the history of Philadelphia. They even talked about it. Cody Rhodes said, oh, Terry Funk, and it's not a lot these people haven't seen. So maybe that's why, tie your hands behind your back and you can do these, like, wow, that'd be crazy. Yeah, but you still need to have tables and chairs, and there was a chair, and it was barely used. It was very WWE from AEW tonight in that street fight. Unfortunately, very disappointing to me. I would give tonight maybe a 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, my main gripe, unfortunately, is three things, and it's always the rules. And I'm always a stickler for things like that, and it is, all right, yeah, I'm nitpicking in some sense, but you suspend my disbelief to a certain extent.
They can do that on TNT, Melvin Jackson in the chat. They can do it. WWE can do tables.
They can do it. They were swearing. They were saying shit.
They were saying shit. They can. Yes, they can. Jackson in the chat, you are incorrect. They can have blood. They can say shit. They can go through tables. They have a bit more
with their rating, so they can actually go a bit more above what WWE can do.
They're a TV 14 rating, bro. They can do it.
Yeah, they're Attitude Era, certified. So,
yep.
Obviously the rope break and certain aspects. So you have a rope break, but yet you can tie your opponent's hands behind their back and hit them with objects around the ring and everything that transpired that way. Second main issue was, okay, Pac didn't want to get disqualified, and I really liked how that came about. But I had to go back because the referee blatantly saw everything that happened with the weapons at first.
Right.
I mean, the ref had seen Moxley hit Omega with the bat, and then that's when Pac did his run in and threw the weapons out of the ring and all this stuff. But the referee saw it clear as day, so I don't know why that wasn't DQ'd right then and there.
Yeah, well, he was trying to look away. That was the referee's fault. Are you talking about the Moxley thing with the barbed wire?
Yeah.
Referee made a mistake. Referee was staring right at him.
Was looking
right at him and was like, oh, guys, it's okay to do this because he never sold, like, don't use those. He never sold that. The reason why he didn't sell that was because he wasn't even supposed to be in the ring. He was supposed to be outside the ring helping someone doing something else and then jump in the ring and then be like, what are you guys doing? But instead he went outside the ring and then he even looked in the ring and was like, oh, I'm not supposed to be looking in the ring. So whoever the referee was in that match and whatever got messed up, I don't know who, it might not have been the ref that messed it up, but the referee was 100% out of position for that. That was so fucked up. And if you didn't notice that, by the way, I want everybody to remember right now because I already see it going on. I tell it like it is. Love WWE, hate WWE, whatever it is, AEW, whatever. I tell it like it is. The fact of the matter is, AEW is going to be the best wrestling show all week. Still, despite this. Remember, a 6.5 or a 7, I'm not sure which one I want to give it yet, a 6.5 or a 7 is a fucking good grade.
Yeah.
You know what's a bad grade?
Better than failing.
Anything below 5 to me is bad. Anything below 5 is like, what the fuck was that? So no, you still get a thumbs up, but it's, this is the lowest grade I've given AEW yet. The other grades, 8, dark match shit, I've given 7s and 8s. But tonight, to me, was they missed on some things, and I'm talking from I'm thinking Philadelphia main event street fight. What
ECW?
No,
Taz is there. You're really trying to give that hardcore feel.
Yeah,
and my other issue was, they're going to call off the match because SCU obviously doesn't have one of the, Christopher Daniels is injured, but you have a Scorpio Sky already out there. Even though he's it should just be like, okay, well, they made more of a deal of it. I felt like they had to than for him just being able to enter the match. I get what they were going for. He's not in his wrestling attire and stuff, but I don't know. At first I was like, but then I got into it quickly. So, like I said, just with me,
yeah,
it's a personal gripe.
At no point I never said like this sucks, like this match sucks.
Yeah, no. And I really liked the match too. And I really liked the women's match just because Nyla Rose and Riho, to me, that was a flop and a failure. The only thing that worked was, Omega coming out afterwards, and the fact that Rose didn't win was the shocking part, because I had not given Riho the time of day to win that belt. I really thought they were going full SJW, Avengers, and just giving Nyla Rose the belt. So.
I always thought the opposite. I just always thought they put this big bitch in there with her because they wanted to be like, look, it's going to be so impossible, you know what I mean? And then she'll just win. And then Rio, whoa, my God, she won. But, once you beat Nyla Rose, I mean, who the fuck is going to beat you after that? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like...
that was kind of the thing. But they did a good job showing like Nyla had power but lacked experience everywhere else.
Yeah.
So it was just the strength that you had to conquer, not the creative mindset. And, Britt Baker had some of that tonight, had some ingenuity. It wasn't enough to topple her experience. At least they're building the women's division in a nice direction. So...
Well, we're going to go to the donations in a minute. I know you guys are donating and saying a bunch of things, and I want to hear what you guys have to say. I've told you what I think about all of this, and I'll continue telling you all night. But I want to hear what the people are saying out there about this show tonight. That I believe was their weakest one, which isn't a bad thing. It was still better than WWE, better than SmackDown, better than Raw, probably better than NXT. Although I'll have my NXT review tomorrow. 585 is on the phone. Hello,
Joe. What's up? It's Tony, man. What's going on?
What's up, Tony? How you doing, man?
Man, didn't get home till like around 8:30 and turned on AEW. I absolutely felt that AEW has become more badass than what WWE has provided us.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, absolutely, it's way more badass. AEW is way better than WWE. They're light years away right now. But yeah, what'd you think of tonight? Have you watched all three shows?
I feel like AEW right now is undefeated. 3-0 in my estimation, because of the way WWE is going down this path right now, just like a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
WWE is going down the fucking drain.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're in the drain. I mean, I would say they're in the drain right now. They need to pull themselves out of the drain.
I love the fact that they were so hyped to celebrate Jericho's win tonight too. Like, he conquered the world. He had done everything when really he had help to win the main event, obviously. But here that everybody comes out, they've got the bubbly, and they're spraying him with the champagne.
Well, that was great.
It was like he just won the Olympics, and
right.
It was rigged. He
That's
was
why
going to win
funny.
regardless. So that's what it was so great. It cracks me up, and like you said, that it really does feel like that boss, that video game boss.
Yeah, it was. I thought that was hilarious. So
he was never
right.
in danger of losing, and yet it's this big accomplishment. So
yeah. No, I thought that was great. I just wish that we had really seen a street fight. And I feel like we didn't see a street fight. I felt like we got bullshitted. Like, I'm actually kind of mad. I'm getting angrier as I think about it. Like,
well, especially with some of the other matches we've gotten, like the Cracker Barrel.
Yes,
first one there, that triple threat with Genoa.
But dude, the fucking dark match in Boston
was more of a street
last
fight,
week.
out and out.
What the fuck, dude? They tore the shit down last week with Omega and Janela. Why the fuck on TV did we get this? And maybe, I mean, like, and if Jericho didn't want to go through all this bullshit, all right, put Darby Allin through a fucking table with barbed wire. That crowd would have lost their mind. Just one table, I mean, I thought they should have done more than that. But if I was Jericho, I would have looked at that thing that Janela and Omega did last week, and I would have said, Jesus, they did that in the fucking dark match show that got released yesterday? What the fuck are we doing tonight? We better do something crazy tonight. You know what, dude? We're putting you through a barbed wire table. I'm putting two chairs across from each other, and I'm throwing you into it like ping pong. And that's after we duct tape your hands behind your back, and you're going to get busted open. And, like, we're going to do all this shit. Like, I mean, come on. And so, yeah, wow, that was a letdown to me. Like, still good, though, because what they did, it was good, but it was like, I could hear the fans. The fans chanted, it's a street fight. I mean, when the guy grabbed the ropes, but then they never really got the street fight. They got I mean, like, I guess, like, the reason for the street fight, I guess, was just so they could tie Darby Allin's hands so he could do that stuff. But, yeah, I don't know, man. The more I look, like, but this is what I love about AEW. I have a lot that I love tonight, a lot that I liked, but there was a few things that really kind of, like, made me go, what? Like, what are they doing that for? So, you know,
it leaves room for improvement.
Yeah, whereas with WWE, I would have just been like, I don't know, I wanted to go to sleep. I don't know, I just wanted to go to sleep. You know, so thank God this is not WWE. But I'm being honest. I'm going to keep it real. And many of you may disagree with me or agree with me or whatever out there. I don't care. I'm telling you how I feel. I thought the first episode was an 8. I thought the second one, I thought it was an 8. And I thought tonight was maybe a 6 or a 7. And
yeah, I thought you'd give the first one an 8.5. Maybe I'm...
I think I liked, I don't know, man. I think I like Boston better. I don't remember.
Yeah.
The first one I was so hyped, dude, that the fucking... What do you call it? Whatever the hell that shit is in my brain was like the serotonins and whatever else. Yeah. I was just like, wow, dude, this is crazy. So they do have that factor going. Let's see what you guys are saying here with the donations. Time Pilot 84 Pro Wrestling. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, man. I appreciate that. And we'll talk a little bit more later about Title Match Wrestling Network. I heard that they're having a lot of signups from you guys, so they're really happy about that.
Roman Reigns, you're my man. I wanna see you naked. Give me that Superman punch in my rectum. Give me that Superman punch in my rectum. And I don't care if your office goes up my asshole. Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns.
Too many tag matches. Slow-paced. Only good matches were Omega and Hangman versus Mox and Pac and the Darby and Jericho match.
Didn't really like
Sammy looks
that.
like Miley Cyrus. 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10 coming from DC Derek with the $14 drop. DC Derek, thank you very much for the $14, man. Much appreciated. And I think DC Derek, you're the top donator. So DC Derek, you're on the board.
3 minutes and open with a pile driver, you sick FKS.
Alex, oh man, I missed his name. Alexis or Alex? I missed it, man. Sorry. Thank you for the donation, bro. I'll try to get your name right in a minute.
Super Chat.
Appreciate it.
Party.
Super Chat party from Tommy Hooligan.
AEW 8 tenths with the tag matches and Mayin.
Tommy Hooligan thinks it was an 8 out of 10 tonight, baby. Yeah, I mean, so I like the. I didn't mind the tag matches because I knew we were going to get it. We're in the middle of a tournament. You know what I mean? They're trying to build the tag team division. I think they have to be careful because people are really tired of tag matches and multi-man matches. And that's not AEW's fault. That's what WWE has done to people. So they have to be careful with that. But we are in a tag team tournament time right now. So I understand that didn't bother me as much. But I'm not a big fan of multi-man matches, or too many of them. So, yeah, I'm not going to be as high on it either. And this was the first week where we really got all multi-man, all tag team matches. You know, something like, other people out there.
Where am I living? Where am I living? Where am I living? Right now.
Oh, my God.
Let's go Cronin, let's go Joe. Let's go Cronin lick his toes.
Oh.
Fuck Debe on a Wednesday.
Oh, no. F Debe. Tommy's probably listening right now. Pants, poop, pants. Thanks for the 1050. Yeah, the other thing about that is Mr. New York was like, another fucking multi-man match. Another tag match. Meanwhile, with AEW, he'll be like, oh, I loved it. But no, so yeah, I'm not that happy about all the tag matches myself either.
I said that right off the bat. A lot of tag matches. But...
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy tag wrestling, and I do like it when it happens, when it's good, but when it's... I love tag team wrestling when it's sort of like an attraction. You know what I mean? When there's one tag match on the card, and it's for the belts, and it feels big, and now here it comes. That's where I love tag team wrestling. I don't want to have to watch a million tag team matches. So, I mean, I'm there with you on that part of it. But I'm also not upset because we expected this. It's a tag team tournament time. So, I'm not going to be, I guess, as critical as you, but I am there. 8 out of 10, I don't think tonight, I just can't get behind tonight being an 8 out of 10. I don't know if I can go 4 out of 10, but I feel that tonight was about a 6 out of 10. And that's where I'm residing right now. Let me take this guy's call only because I see a lot of calls coming in. Hundreds of calls are coming in, but this guy's called the most.
And I got the dark matches for you as well, too.
All right, I can't wait to hear this. They're probably still going on, right?
Yeah.
718's on the phone, so that's Brooklyn potentially.
Oh, it says Brooklyn? No, it's friendly, but I'm from the Bronx.
Oh, the Bronx. My bad, dude. I'm from Boston. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I've been fucking blowing your phone up. I've just been excited to talk about the show.
Yeah, man. What'd you think?
I'm definitely with you though. Like I definitely think that this was the weakest out of the three.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it probably like a 7 out of 10.
Yep.
But I will say this though, I feel like we're watching it with like expectations. You know what I'm saying? Like we're watching it expecting it to be like a perfect show, and that kind of like takes a little bit away when you look at it like that. And I feel like with a lot of the matches that was today, they made I seen them made a lot of wrong decisions, and I feel like they didn't play with the crowd. Like they had me when they first started off.
Right.
Lucha Bros attacking SCU. That was cool. That was dope.
Scorpio Sky had that crowd. They loving Scorpio Sky, man. He was really setting them off.
Yeah, he was getting them fired up.
Right.
He was getting them fired up.
And by the way, that's a black guy getting Philly to like him. That's amazing. Because in Philly, they'd rather put up a fake statue of Rocky Balboa than fucking the real champion from there. Sorry, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I'm kidding, Philadelphia. I'm kidding. I like to fuck with you. I know you're not a bunch of racists. I'm kidding. I'm killing Philly. I'm kidding Philly. Oh, no, I'm not killing you. Oh, God, no. No, but seriously, Joe Frazier's from there. Can you get a statue up, please? Come on. Sorry. Anyway, go ahead, bro.
It's crazy. But in the match, the fucking I feel like the fucking crowd loved the best friends for some reason.
No, they did.
Every fucking move they do, and when they do that fucking hug, bro, I don't know if it's just me that sees this. The fucking crowd looks insane when they do the hug shit and then they do their moves.
Yeah.
I feel like the crowd. I feel like they should have took the W. I don't know. I feel like they forcing SCU down. I don't really like SCU. I'm not into them like that. You know.
Yeah, I think SCU is really kind of like they're those veteran guys that are there to kind of help put over other guys, but yet they need some wins here or there. But
right.
Yeah, the crowd has been really behind Best Friends, but tonight it felt like for a while Best Friends was playing the heels, and then all of a sudden they were going to do their hug, and the crowd went, "Oh yeah, we love the hug," and then it was very strange. Two teams that really the crowd got behind, but then also SCU was attacked earlier, so that made them the underdogs kind of in a way, and then that got them the crowd too, so that made them very face, but Best Friends are still face too, so yeah, you really got two crowd favorites facing each other, and I don't understand quite who is gonna be the heel or if they even cared about that. But WWE's been doing that recently in their women's tag division. It's the same thing.
Yeah, that's weird. And, I forgot Christopher Daniels. He was selling the shit out that injury. I don't know if that was real or not, but I was really that shit had me like, yo, he's all right. He looked like he was fucking hurt.
Here's the mistake to me. The problem that they did at first, I thought the same thing. I was like, wow, this almost feels like a real injury. The problem was that way too quickly was Scorpio Sky okay, whatever. He's going to the hospital. I'll be in the match.
Yeah.
You know what they really needed to do was have Scorpio Sky not wanting to leave Daniel's side, and you know what I mean. The referee telling him, we're gonna call the match off and that type of thing, and almost have Kazarian be the one that's they're still staring at Christopher Daniels, or they want to go with Daniels, and have Kazarian on the outside be like. He's like, but we got to go with him. We got to go with him. He's like, he would want us to win the damn match. He would want us to win the match. Get in there with me or something like that. And where one of them has to be convinced that forget about, having to go to the hospital with Daniels. He'll be okay. They're going to take care of him. He'll want us to win this. He'll be pissed if he wakes up in the hospital and we lost. That type of thing. If they had a camera shot of that argument between the two, almost like Bret Hart and Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 9, where Bret Hart's got the shit in the eyes, and all Hogan cared about was, "Are you okay, Bret?" And Yokozuna's like, "I challenge you in the match right now. We'll put the belt on the line." Hogan doesn't care. He's worried about his friend Bret Hart. But Bret goes, "Go get him. Fuck it. Go get him. Go get him." And Hogan's like, "What? I can't leave you. What? Go get it. And then Hogan finally does. He goes, okay, and then he goes and gets him. That's what they needed to do, and they didn't do that. Instead, Scorpio was like, guess I'm in the match. Let's go. Like, who cares? Daniels might be dead. Like, but who cares? So that was a huge mistake. That immediately told me, I was like, oh, okay, all right. I mean, I knew it was a work probably, but the little bit of, like, doubt in my head, a minute they did that, I went, oh, okay, all right. So they fucked that up. That's my opinion as a person who's been watching wrestling 30-something years and been wrestling myself. Yeah,
you're right. That would have been more that would have been more believable.
Right.
I hope they're fucking listening to me right now. They need to fucking go hire Joe Cronin over to AEW.
Yeah, I mean,
playing games with my boy Joe.
I mean, they may be saying that in the back. Somebody may have seen that in the back and been like, yeah, we should have done that. Maybe they don't care. I mean, I think they do care, though, because I think Cody Rhodes is like, from what I know of him, he's like a perfectionist, and they really did a damn good job, but that was the one thing that I went, ugh. They went from, oh my God, his life is on the line to, oh, we're in the match, let's go. Like, wait a minute. I mean, listen, if you wanted to say he hurt his ankle and he couldn't get on, like, put weight on his ankle, and then Scorpio came out to be like, are you all right? And then eventually Daniels was like, dude, they'll take care of me in the back. Go get him. Go, like, we can't lose, man. Just take my spot. Take my place. I'll be all right. Like, that they could have done that, but instead they went for the, oh my God, his neck might be broken, and then, oh, I'll just get in the match. Like, that just, like, dude, I don't know, man. If my best friend was hurt like that, you may actually say, fuck the match. I'm going to the hospital with him. You know,
You'll be more concerned. They was like fucking quick to forget about him.
Right. Then they could have done it, just a few little twitches, and they could have made it really believable and much better. But it was. But I don't want to. I'm talking about this like they did a bad job. They did not. They did a great job. I thought what that angle and that beginning was like an 8.5 out of 10. I thought a great job. But if they had done what I said, a little bit of that, I would have given that like a 9 or a 9.5 because it would have been like, wow, that's what a story they're telling here.
Yeah, I want that, so I would have gave it an 8. I don't want to waste any more time. I know you got calls. I want to point that out.
That was a really good call, though, man. Yeah, you got me going on that, so good shit. Thank you.
The fucking hands behind the fucking Tide shit, that shit killed the momentum. I didn't fucking like that at all. And then fucking Rio and the Jurassic Express, I felt like killed the momentum because everybody wanted to see Luchasaurus.
Yeah.
So then when we seen fucking little Marco stunt, it's like, So they had a lot of momentum killers tonight.
Yeah, I mean that one wasn't their fault because Luchasaurus got hurt, but yeah, that it was a glare, it was a problem, you know, and it felt like we saw a lot of small people versus big people tonight. It was a lot of like little tiny 90, 80 pound Rio or whatever she is, Darby Allin who's like fucking 160 pounds or something versus Jericho's 228. And then the, Jungle Boy and the other guy, Marco Stunt, like so tiny versus these other big guys. There was a lot of just big guys versus tiny people, and it was just a lot of that tonight. I don't know, like that's why I'm giving tonight a 6 out of 10, man. It just, something was, they didn't quite hit it like they did the other weeks, but they did a good job nonetheless, but.
Yeah, I'm afraid they'll get like, I know they open with their wrestling. I'm afraid they'll get too open. Cause I seen Darby Allin with like a whole bunch of champ like written on him too. I'm like, that's kind of like cheesy. Like I feel like they're gonna take it too far, but a little too much freedom.
Yeah, I don't know what he wrote on himself. I didn't mind that. I mean, I'm one to talk, man. In high school, I was wearing fucking fishnets and fucking fish hooks. I look like a gothic fucking, like I looked like I sucked cock and went to fucking rave parties.
You can buy AEW apparel at
Jimmy
the Hot Topic.
Yeah, dude, I did. I looked like Jimmy Havoc in high school. The funny thing about Jimmy Havoc is he looks like me in high school, but he's like 50. But yeah, Darby Allin was looking like Hakushi tonight with that shit written down half his fucking stomach. Great call, man. Thank you for that call. I really appreciate that. Jake, I'm sure you've been sitting there like wanting to say something here while I went off on that rant or whatever the fuck I just did.
I was enjoying listening. It was a great call. You can buy your AEW apparel at Hot Topic. Don't forget. I think they said that a few too many times, but it made me chuckle. First time I've heard Hot Topic brought up in ages.
You might be right. I heard it once. They might have said it a bunch more. I just happened to only hear it once. But I was up and down. Leah made cookies. I ran upstairs to get those. Let me play another couple donations here before we get way behind.
Super chat.
Chime them in.
Super chat.
Got a lot of haters in the chat tonight. Go away.
John Wills, what's up, dude? What do you mean, like people, dude? Like you wouldn't believe John Wills. People are like, WWE's awesome, you piece of shit, or like whatever. Like people are just psychos. The Elite AEW. Yeah, I wore a lot of Jenko jeans, Paul. A lot of Jenkos. What did you guys think of AEW tonight? Thought it was a pretty good show. I thought it was, but they missed on some things.
All my friends are fucking the man, 'cause all my friends are drinking cran.
Gotta drink that cran, motherfuckers. You need my penis to stir it. My penis stirs the cran. If you don't have my penis, you're not drinking cran, so don't try it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To another good night of wrestling.
Elite 95, the Elite 95, thank you, my friend, for the $17, dude. That is the largest donation of the stream, and yes, I was excited all day for AEW, and man, it is such a joy to watch AEW compared to WWE.
Yeah, absolutely. I came in hyped just by the ending, dying laughing with Jericho, celebrating with champagne.
That was funny. Like, it's so much. Oh my God! Like,
well, that
I'm
right
so
there.
less
That's what brought up my rating more. Once we go through everything and actually analyze, it makes a difference. But
yeah,
you come in hyped and excited instead of being just so destroyed and devastated and frustrated. Like, even with the rule issues and things like that, it still wasn't enough to take me out of it entirely. I still enjoyed the match, and that's the thing. I would rather wish for more than to say I'd rather change the channel.
Oh yeah, see, that's the thing is, I want to make that very clear to everybody. I'm still a stingy wrestling fan because I'm 30 fucking 5. But the fact of the matter is, I never thought about, oh, this is not good. I never thought that tonight. I never thought, oh God. I only thought of like, ooh, that's good. But if they'd done this, it would have gone here. I kept telling you that. That's what I feel like, guys. I feel like, oh, that was a 7, but they could have made that a 9. But at no time tonight did I think, oh, God, this is a fucking, 2 out of 10 shit. Like, I never thought that at all. So this is so much better than WWE. Tonight will be better. NXT will be better. I cannot imagine on any realm, at any place, any paradox where SmackDown is going to be even close to this, to what I would consider this to be one of the worst efforts that we'll see of AEW. And if this is one of their worst efforts, and I don't even think WWE can come close to this. I just felt that the main event was, they oversold it and didn't deliver in a Philadelphia crowd on TNT primetime main event, and I think that most people with a brain would agree with that. That yeah, that was a little bit. I did expect a little bit more in the main event for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, which has it been defended yet? Was that the first defense
for the title? No,
there's one other one, right?
It was defended the first week as well, right?
I don't remember now. Somebody looked that up. Somebody tell me in the chat.
He won it from Hangman Page, and then he defended it, I thought, the first
we're
week.
like the Borg. We have a hive mind, so everybody in the chat's in the chat. So somebody in the chat will know. Somebody in the chat tell me what the hell happened.
Let us know in 7 seconds.
You let me. I'm not. And sometimes people go, oh, Joe, you're supposed to know this stuff. Yeah, maybe. But I'm more of like...
I can't remember what...
You're here for my
opinion
yesterday.
If I don't have it in front of me.
Well, I gave, like I said, let's go to Tommy NC 2010. He's here with us. My God.
Tommy!
This is Wardlow.
Hey Wardlow, what's up, Wardlow? Oh, I just wanted to say hi to Wardlow real quick. Tommy, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing okay.
You don't sound okay.
No, this is the first defense. I'm just retarded.
Okay,
so.
Good. You're retarded. Let's all write that down. Jake is retarded. So yeah, this is your first defense of the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. It's a street fight, and it barely felt like a street fight. So I am not happy with that. Still a good match, and wow, Darby Allin, no hands, impressive. But I would give the match like a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, something. I don't know. I'd never probably never watch that match again. But Joey Janela and Omega murdered that match, and that was the main event. I'm sorry.
That was crazy. And really quick before we hear from Tommy, tonight I don't think we're getting. I mean, we'll see what happens, but we're getting Joey Janela. He's taking on Brandon Cutler. Obviously, Taz is the special guest, commentator, and then we have Neva versus Nyla. I guess that was not a good match. People were not happy with that. It was less than 5 minutes.
I'm telling you, these fans are going to get angry. I'm telling you.
The main event for their dark match affair was Cody and Dustin with the Young Bucks taking on Strong Hearts and Private Party. So 8-man tag to finish the night.
That will probably be pretty cool.
I'm sure it'll be good. I mean, anything involving...
But the problem is...
most of those guys is entertaining.
But the problem is this crowd has seen a lot of multiple tag things and not any kind of like gritty hardcore stuff, really. Like, they wanted that. And I'm just telling you, AEW wants to do what the fans want, and I feel like AEW has had their finger on the pulse of the fans since day one. The second AEW launched, I felt that they had their fingers on the pulse, and they were like, we know what these people want. Here it comes. And it was amazing how every time they hit a strike, they hit a home run, 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 they hit a home run. And so I'm like, oh, they know that they're in Philly tonight. And then when I saw Philly street fight on the card, I went, oh, fuck. Dude, they are so fucking on with what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. And then I saw the street fight.
Especially for the first title defense.
Yeah, and then the first title defense, street fight. And then I saw the street fight, and it felt like a WWE PG street fight. Oh, well, they didn't hit a home run tonight, but they hit a triple or a double or something. They hit something good. Compared to WWE, they didn't strike out. WWE would have striked out. They would have struck out, and they would have pissed their pants on the way back to the dugout if they were WWE. So that's how I would describe this. WWE would have pissed their pants, struck out, gone back to the dugout. AEW hit a double. So much better.
And then we also had, that was before, I guess, the, we also saw... No, that was just a 3. Okay, yeah. All right, it was just that. So it was the 8-man tag for AEW Dark. So,
all right,
yeah. Nyla Rose and the Librarian, Leva Bates, and Janela and Cutler. So,
hats
doesn't
off.
Sound as good as to what we got prior, but...
man, thank you, God. Thank you, AEW, for giving me Joey Janela and Kenny Omega. Thank you, God. What a match. I'm sorry, Philly. You got fucked. Tommy, yo, what's up?
I thought tonight was rather impressive. I think that just the techniques on AEW and the wrestling style prefer to WWE. I think that AEW has the better acrobatic skills, and I think that tonight, Jericho, I know it, Chris against Darby. I thought it was an amazing match tonight. I thought it was really good, very entertaining. He looked like an inchworm, honestly, when he was duct taped. Honestly, it was funny watching him bounce around that ring while you had his hands duct taped. It would have been interesting to see him win, being like, he's a champion that had his hands duct taped. He defied all odds. It would have been nice to see him win, but sadly, that was not going to happen tonight.
Well, yeah, you don't want, Darby Allin to win the title already off a guy, and then, they got this big build-up with Jericho and Cody Rhodes going on. So, pretty much everybody knew Darby wasn't going to win tonight, but, it should have been fun, though. And it was all right. It was an okay match, but it definitely, wow, did people think they were going to, that Philly crowd thought they were going to get something else. I will tell you that.
I feel like AEW should be pushing more. They're doing an amazing job, but I feel like they should be pushing more on since they have a TV 14 rating. I feel like they should be pushing more for swearing and promos, and more blood and more insanity. This is not WWE. This is not kiddie shit. This is AEW, All Elite Wrestling. This is above WWE. This is the standard now.
I just felt that all that they needed to do to me tonight was maybe really, it came down to that main event. I saw a lot of people tweeting me that they were like, oh, this show wasn't as good and whatever. And I was like, all right, yeah, but, this main event is probably why. We've seen a lot of tag wrestling, a lot of stuff like that, a lot of story building tonight. There was a lot of sort of story building going on, so that's good. So this main event, though, is for the title. It's a street fight, so we're going to see it now. We're going to see it here. Here we go. And, unfortunately, a lot of those same people were tweeting me like, oh, yeah, we didn't get it. And I went, yeah. But it was still good. I still thought tonight was good. But which week do you think was the best, Tommy? Week 1, 2, or tonight? Which week was the best?
I think altogether that AEW has been hitting home runs. I think with each showing and each night, I think they've been hitting home runs every night, and I think they're doing better than WWE, honestly.
Well, that's definitely true. They're definitely doing better than WWE. That's got to be true.
And hopefully, I have my fingers crossed that AEW will go on into the future and be more successful in the future and get more speed and become more dominant against WWE, and more wrestlers leave WWE and come over to AEW.
Yeah, I mean, WWE's done their best to lock up all their wrestlers so they can't go anywhere. I'm getting conflicted reports now about Eric Bischoff. It was said that maybe he wouldn't be able to go anywhere for a year.
That was the original report.
Now it's starting to feel like maybe he could go somewhere at any time. He doesn't feel like somebody that the AEW really wants, or that anybody would want. But again, I thought I have said this a million times. Tony Khan does not want to be on TV. Tony Khan does not want to be on TV. Eric Bischoff is out of the loop and out of touch as far as how TV and wrestling work now, even though he used to be an expert on it, potentially, if whatever you think he's an expert or a moron, that depends on who you are. And AEW can't rely on Cody and the Bucks and all these guys to be the face or the bookers. It looks bad. So you need somebody. You need somebody to be the Jack Tunney. And what I mean, if you don't know who Jack Tunney is, he was this old guy back in the WWF, and he was the president of WWE, and he would sit behind a desk with his white hair, and he would be like, I've decided to make a title match between Hulk Hogan and the Macho Man Randy Savage because they were unable to get along, and he would give this great exposition. They don't have that in AEW. Yes, Tony Khan's the owner. Doesn't want to really be on camera, and he's already kind of broken so much kayfabe, it's weird. And Cody Rhodes, he's like a wrestler. And yes, we know he's back there producing stuff, but that's making things convoluted too, because you don't want him to be a booker, because then if he wins something, people start saying, oh, he booked himself to win. So you need a face, somebody who appears to be the guy who's going to be the one who books the match. So if it's possible to get Eric Bischoff, I don't really need to see him in a backstage role, although him being there will help with that role. He'll do double duty like everybody else. Make Eric Bischoff the president or the guy who's in charge of, like, so-called the matches. Don't put him on a lot, almost never, but once in a while, there's a desk, there's Eric Bischoff. Something happens, Eric Bischoff comes on camera for 30 seconds. I've decided because of the attack tonight on SCU that Private Party will be fined $3,000 and suspended for 2 weeks. Like, what? Oh my God, that solves almost all the problems. When you need a guy to give exposition and to be the apparent guy who's in charge of the rules and things like that, to be the general manager or commissioner or whatever you want to call it, I think Eric Bischoff would be great in that role. I think Eric Bischoff in the back, in that executive producer TV guy role, sucks. Everybody knew that for WWE. So if he's able to go anywhere, fuck man, I would. They need someone on screen to be able to make matches, and I know that we normally don't like that, Jake. You know, we talked about this. Like, hopefully they don't have that. We're tired of the bad guy or the good guy that makes matches.
Yeah, the authority figure.
They need the William Regal. They need and not as much as William Regal, because sometimes it's too much, but just every once in a while.
Yeah, because like tonight, I know a lot of people didn't get to catch NXT yet, but tonight Regal worked out perfectly. And you know, something had happened, and he was the counterpoint man. So he came out, he rectified the situation, and it builds into next week's match. So, yeah, you need that every now and again. But you don't need...
Sorry, Joe, I got to go.
All right, Tommy.
All right, Tommy. Thank you
You
for calling
okay?
in.
Just stressed out about a lot of shit right now.
Jesus, bro. Hit me up later if you're
I was just
feeling...
about to say, I hope you were having a better day, Tommy.
Yeah, hit
too.
me up later, man, if you're feeling bad, Tommy. I'll talk to you. You sound like something is bad.
Fucked up week this week, so just been pissed off and just fucking going out of my fucking mind right now.
Jesus, man. I'm sorry, bro.
Fucking nervous breakdown.
Why? What's wrong? It's okay, man. Don't have a nervous breakdown. Are you all right? I mean, I know you're not, but
Right now.
all right.
Have a
Well,
great day.
talk to me off the air about it, okay?
Yeah, hit me back up, Tommy. We'll talk again.
I'll talk to you off the air later. Jesus, what the
Yeah,
hell's
he's not in a
going
good way.
on?
We were talking for a while yesterday. So.
Right when he called, I could tell something was wrong with him.
Yeah, he's going through some shit.
Well, yeah, but so let me play some more of these donations, and I could be wrong. Again, guys, I could be wrong, I could be right. I'm just spitting things out. I don't think that I'm a god, and I know more than all of you or anybody else or anything like that. I'm not like fucking. Let me tell you, you fucking idiots. No, I know I might be wrong, I might be right. I'm just spewing some things out there. Later on, I might disagree with myself when I hear something. So but I'm telling you how I feel right now. You know what I mean? Like if you might agree, you might disagree, but that's the best thing about AEW right now is just there's so much room. I see varying opinions that I don't normally see. Normally I see like 9 out of 10 people like, WWE sucks. This night sucked. I fell asleep. It sucks. Yeah, I agree. It sucks. People would call the shows all the time to review WWE. They'd be like, hey, Joe, yeah, it sucked tonight. Yeah. What did you think about it? Oh, I don't know. It just sucked. Oh, I got to go.
It just sucked. It just had a bad feeling.
But now people have all opinions. Here's what I thought they should have did. Here's what I thought they should have did. Here's what they could have done. Here's what I liked and didn't like. And it seems like everyone's all over the place. And that's way more interesting than the norm that we usually get. Let me play a couple of these, and we'll get back to it.
What else we got? Oh,
a
little bit of the bubbly.
Oh, it's bubbly time.
Bubbly?
It's
Look at
bubbly
this stuff.
time,
Oh,
baby.
oh,
Yeah.
a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Bubbly.
I'm not dead. McDonald's will make you fat. People
Yes.
come to listen to the rock music. McDonald's rocks. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. Heinz, it's America's favorite ketchup. Pepsi.
Oh my God. Wesley Willis from Chicago. Thank you, Wesley. He's still alive, everybody. Stabbing westward. Stabbing westward. Thank you, Wesley Willis. Jesus. Oh, here it comes.
$9 for a fuck. Someone donated 9. I'm getting hard. I got 9 inches inside of your wife. $9. I'm shooting my semen to the ceiling. I'm coming, and my balls have turned blue. $9. Suck my dick.
Listen up, slap nuts.
Could've done with the Hagarunin. Completely ruined the main event for me and made Jericho look like a weak sauce champion.
Slapnuts69. Well, I think they wanted to do this, though, because the real thing is to get to the Cody match, so it made sense. I don't have a problem with that.
You missed out on a great NXT again.
Really?
You know
Dunn
Jericho
and
can do it on his
Damian
own,
Priest was
so.
awesome. Along with Keith Lee and Dominic Djokovic. Rhea Ripley is a star. We get her versus Bianca Belair next week and triple threat for North American title. Lee versus Dominic versus Strong.
Alexa's sweet ass, thank you for the NXT update. I will have my NXT review out tomorrow. Yeah, that sounds exciting, I guess. I mean, I just think it's too long. I think NXT would do better.
I didn't think NXT was great tonight, honestly. It was okay.
How do you watch both, man? I don't know.
I had picture-in-picture going on, and
I mean, I know how. I can do it too, but I can't do it.
I did my best. NXT
God.
didn't get as much love as AEW did, but...
What else we got? Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Bubbly.
Bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Can you hear these, Jake?
Show is
No, not
definitely not as good as last week's. But it felt like a 7 out of 10. Had good moments like Riho versus Baker, Jericho versus Darby and Moxley. Swerve was stone cold, like fucking loved it. I really wish they just made the Lucha Brothers win a squash match.
Yeah, yeah, I wish they just made the Lucha Brothers win a squash match. Yeah, one of the matches felt like it should have been shorter tonight. It felt like they should have made something a little bit shorter. And I'm going to restart Skype, Jake. My bad, dude. It just crashed. Yeah, I don't know, man. They made something else shorter. given the main event 5 extra minutes, and actually had a hardcore street fight match. They went out into the crowd, they went up the ramp, whatever. They went into the table area, like something. Like do something in a street fight and then get back to the ring, and then Jake Hager comes out, or Jack Hager, or whatever the fuck. I can't even remember. The guy should have just called himself fucking Bob. All right? You know what I mean? Jack Swagger, Jake Hager. I'm all fucked up, dude. Just call yourself Bob Hager or something. Like, oh my God.
Bob Seger's on his way to the ring.
Yeah, here comes Bob Seger. But dude, that name is so tongue-twistingly close to Jack Swagger that like, oh God, it's really annoying. I really hate it. But yeah, so they could have had they start in the ring for a second, then it turns into a street fight. They go all over the place. They go through some tables, and they have some fun with the Philly crowd. They get back to the ring where his hands get tied up, and then they go with how they went. And yeah, I wasn't a fan of what they did. But I get it. I get what's going on. Yeah, let me I wanted you to be able to see my video so I could play the donations. At least you could see the video. Tommy Hooligan.
Appreciate AEW and JCS.
Thank you, Tommy Hooligan. Tommy Hooligan. For the super chat party. Having a big super chat party in the chat right now. I see Tiffany Rodriguez is here. Ross messes up the debut too. He said both Jake and Jack. Yeah, I agree. Ross reminds me of me when I don't prep for something. Like I used to like not prep for things all the time. Local indie show. Sometimes I wouldn't prep enough, and I'd be out there, and one of the indie guys would do like 7 moves that were awesome, and I didn't know what any of them were. Or one of them was like well known, like, oh my God, that's the Rosebud. Like, and I didn't know the move was called Rosebud, so I'm like, oh, Death Valley Driver. Meanwhile, like everywhere else the guy went, it was like Rosebud. Like, and
here we go,
and I fucked it up.
Here we go, about to get it, man. Here we go,
Mr. Mosby.
Here we go. Oh.
But if I had asked him, what's your finisher?
So how would a cage match be in AEW? Would it be like Lockdown or just WWE-styled cage matches?
Well,
AEW needs some TNA, WCW match gimmicks.
Well, Mosby, I think we're going to get there. I mean, we're not, we're on the 3rd show. I mean, it's only the 3rd show. And they've already done some things, like Street Fight tonight. They've done some things like that, but so far they really haven't had anything stand out yet on TV. It would be nice if they eventually get to that, but I also think they're really trying to keep the pay-per-view stuff special too. So you don't want to just come out being like, here's another fucking hardcore thing and all this stuff on TV. Then what the hell's special about the special events,
Yeah, then it's all gimmick matches.
True, Joe, not their best show, but still great.
Still great,
Love
I agree.
that the matches made sense, like Riho keeping her mouth shut to keep Britt from locking in the mandible claw.
Yes.
The street fight won't bother me as long as the rules for this street fight don't change.
Also, Muhammad Abdel, thank you for the $5 in the shit bum. Apparently, commentary did mention the rope break is possible in this street fight here, so now we know that. I did not hear that. Somebody in the chat said that, and maybe that's wrong, but that's what they said. And yes, they told the story last week of how Britt Baker would go into the mouth. They did a good job of showing that last week, and then tonight, her blocking it. So good job there. They did a good job with that.
Telling the story.
Yep. Triple M, thanks for the $1.
Justin Smith said in the chat, thank you, Triple M. They made sense because they're holding off with Jake Hager anyways. He's got that Bellator 231 fight against Anthony Garrett, I think it was. Anthony Garrett's 4-2, and he's usually competing in the Shamrock FC, in all of his pro fights. So that takes place October 25th in Connecticut at Mohegan Sun Arena.
Oh, wait a minute. In a UFC, in like what promotion is that?
That's for Bellator.
Oh man, hell yeah!
So it's like UFC essentially.
Let's go to Mohegan Sun and bang. Listen, anybody, if anybody wants to donate, the link is in the description box down below, and the super chat's over there. If you feel free to donate, and bring it on, baby. If you win the lottery, hit me up, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but my computer has froze like 90 times almost during this stream tonight. So I'm going to be putting a lot of this money towards a new computer, because it's a lot of you guys who've been with me a long time. You guys remember 3.5 years ago, I built my own computer, and then I built my wife one for Christmas, and we built these. and I sort of cheaped out on a lot of things like the motherboard. So I knew this computer would only last about 3 years, but with what I put this computer through and everything, that's pretty good. And it was a beast at a time, but it is starting to shit itself. So on top of all the bills and all the things we got to pay for, I will be needing to drop a pretty little amount on some kind of a PC that can deal with all this shit. So
yeah, really.
I appreciate that. I want to say thank you to the patrons, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. If you want to help out with that, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show, and donating live will help out with that. It's just been a real slow process because I have regular bills, all this bullshit that I have to pay for, plus now I need to try to save the $500 to $1,000 for the computer. So know that that's where the money's going, and thank you for anybody that makes those contributions. And
it's been a process.
The e-begging is over. That's all I wanted to say. I have to cut my own commercial every once in a while. Or you can also become a patron, or you can try out Audible. That will get me paid as well. audibletrial.com/JCS. That is, will get you a free audiobook for you, and it costs nothing, and you get a free audiobook, and then I get paid. So, I mean, hey, what the hell? audibletrial.com/JCS. The other way you can fund the show if you have no money or you just don't want to do that is to go to twitch.tv/JoeCroninJCS, my Twitch account. Sometimes I play video games and stuff live on Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, if you're an Amazon Prime member, that means you have an Amazon Prime Twitch account, which means for free, you can subscribe to me on Twitch. You have to manually do it every month if you want to, but it's free for you. And I get $3. I get $3, and it's free for you to do that. And an alert comes up here on the show. So an alert comes up, it's free for you, and I get $3. It doesn't get any better than that. So if you're somebody out there who's like, I don't have money, well, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you have that. Also, if you have Amazon and you use Amazon daily, weekly, whatever, I have an Amazon link down below. And if it's not there, I'll put it there. But there should be an Amazon link down below and on joecronshow.net. Whenever you buy stuff on Amazon, they'll give me like 1.5% of the sale. So if you spend $300 on Amazon, I'll get a couple bucks. Believe it or not. So if you're someone out there that uses Amazon every day, every week, every month, whatever, if every time you went to use Amazon, you opened it by clicking my Amazon link, you would be paying the show. So that's another way. You might be like, hey, I'm not giving this fucking nitwit any money. I don't give a shit. I'm not donating to this fucking dildo, but I like him. Well, if you have Amazon, you can support the show without ever paying me anything. So do that. It takes you to the real Amazon. I just get credit. Anyway, what's next, Jake? What do you have
just imagine how much they have on this right now, because Hager has 2 first-round submission victories. He's 2-0. And they're calling him the undefeated, mixed martial arts champion, blah, blah, blah. There's he's got this fight coming up, and Anthony Garrett's no slouch. Yeah, his record's 4-2, but it's still, someone he has to defeat, and it's got to be a pretty decisive fight, for him to go ahead. And they don't want to have him be 2-1, no longer undefeated, and now they've done all this with AEW to build him up as this monster. Because then the fans are going to, you tapped out, or you got knocked out, or even if it goes to a judge's loss, still, you lost. So they have probably a lot riding on him with this win coming up in just 2 weeks' time.
Right.
Not even 9 days. So.
Yeah, are you talking about Full Gear?
No, that's for Bellator 231.
Full Gear is November 9th, right?
November 9th, yeah. And also on that card is Frank Mir taking on Roy Nelson.
Wow.
So, former, obviously, UFC champions in their own rights. A little bit of news on the outside here. Seth Rollins is taking on Bray Wyatt in a cage match, Joe. How the hell is that happening?
I saw that, yeah.
What the? So much for the brand split and the draft and no more, wild card rule. So they're saying on November 4th, we're going to see both of them on the same card for Monday Night Raw.
They're retarded. WWE is legit, might be like brain dead stupid.
People will be happy because Fox Sports 1 is going to be airing SmackDown live for people on the West Coast. So at least you can watch SmackDown live at the same time as the East Coast. That's a positive.
The Elite 95 is right now your digital champion for the night, and we are on the phone now with 201. What's up?
What's up, Cronin? What's up, Jake? Blind guy from New Jersey once again.
What's going on?
What's up, man?
What's going on, man? Loving your show as usual. Been raining all day here, bro, but finally it subsided. So
Same thing
all
here,
good,
man. Same thing in Boston. I don't know what's going
on. Huge storm
Fucking
coming in on the East
crazy.
Coast, so they were worried about a microburst before.
Really?
Shit.
Yeah.
Fucking nuts.
I might have a microburst in my pants.
Especially with next week's Dynamite lineup.
Yeah,
I
next
feel
week.
you. I feel you. But a couple questions, man. Mostly wrestling related and one football related. So let's start with the wrestling first, though.
Okay.
So when it comes to when we compare AEW and NXT on Wednesdays, right? I come out with this whole idea and notion of, okay, NXT to me, right? This is only my opinion. NXT to me delivers the better wrestling show, but I am more entertained by AEW given how story driven they are and all of that, right? But I got to ask this. I mean, at what point, right? At what point will NXT stop feeling special? Because in my opinion, it already has. It already has, because when you start putting shows that are quote unquote takeover caliber after takeover after takeover after takeover, then what the fuck is takeover going to be? You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. No,
So,
I get what you're saying. They go all out for every show. Eventually, it's like,
word.
Oh, I think NXT has become like that. I think that's why people are like, wow.
That's what he's saying. And plus now.
you know?
Oh, I thought you were talking about AEW, but yeah, no, NXT, yeah, they feel small now in a way, even though they keep trucking out great matches, but that's all they have. They need to expand their universe, and they haven't done that yet.
And the problem is now, they do those things where they have to go and outdo themselves. Well, Velveteen Dream is injured. I brought this up on Out of Nowhere last week that he was injured with lower lumbar pain. So tonight they had to have him get beat up to take him out for the next few weeks.
Right.
So now he doesn't get his title shot, and we don't know how long he's going to be out for. It's day to day at this point. So,
right.
Not only that, right? But I also feel that AEW has people that could be called quote unquote, and don't crucify me for this one, but yes, stars. Now, I didn't say superstars. I said stars. When we talk about obviously Chris Jericho, we have MJF, we have Moxley. Right, and other people that you could build up to. To me, a star doesn't necessarily need to be that guy that is good on the stick. To me, a star can also be built through their accolades and what they can do in the ring. And a name that I could bring up, although controversial as all shit, Chris Benoit.
What do you mean? What do you mean about Chris Benoit?
He's somebody that was made champion without needing to really talk much. What wowed you about Benoit was his in-ring ability.
Yeah,
and people enjoyed seeing him damn near kill himself time and time again.
You can do that, but you just can't rely on everybody being like that. You can't have everybody be Benoit, but yeah, you can have a few guys that can get away with not having to be, the Macho Man, Hogan, Stone Cold, or something else.
But AEW has people that can talk, has people that can are very well rounded. Whereas when you look at NXT, who the hell do they really have that you could say this person is well rounded? This person is well rounded. I think AEW has more of that than what NXT has to offer. Now, my other wrestling question though was this. When we look at the women's division in AEW, I think there's a lot there to be desired. I think Britt Baker is very green, and that's no disrespect to her, but I felt like there were a lot of miscommunications today in her match. So I look at a program, a system like, again, what New Japan has, or even WWE with their developmental system. At what point do you think AEW could implement this? And to ask my last question, Joe, because I don't want to keep up any holders who are any.
Yeah, the women's division needs help. I agree. The women's division needs to get better in AEW. That's true.
They do. And my last question, though, Joe, is football related. Tom Brady, are you concerned about him and the lack of protection that he's receiving at this point? Because I mean, he took an ass whooping last week, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm very. There's a couple injuries that are going to be healed soon for the O-line, but the offensive line has been horrible for the Patriots.
The defense has been what's been carrying them, and honestly, if we talk MVP though, I think right now, if we look at QB, I'm looking at Russell Wilson, and the way that he's handled himself and the way that he's been able to carry the Seahawks to victory and come from behind victories, bruh.
Yeah, I mean, I think Russell Wilson's been good. Mahomes has been good. Aaron Rodgers has been good.
Even though the Chiefs are in a little bit of a slump, right? But that's partly because of their defense being a little bit stagnant right now. But hopefully they could get back on their feet.
Brady's had some really good throws. If you look at it, like he's had a couple really good throws. But the problem is, like, there was one game where he was really bad, and last game he played, the wind was blowing like fucking 50 miles an hour in that game because I was here. It was in. I live right up the street from Foxborough Stadium. So, like, I thought, I'm looking at the tree in my backyard. I'm like, this goddamn thing is going to fall in the fucking house. And then I was watching Brady, and I was like, and he threw the ball, and it clearly, like, changed directions. And the announcers kind of went after him. And I'm not afraid to go after him when he has a bad game. He's had some bad games.
Right.
But he threw the ball, and they were just like, what's wrong with him? Like, what was that about? And I was like, dude, it's the fucking wind. Like, say something about the wind. And finally, I think like 20 minutes later, they finally said, like, yeah, they're having some trouble right now because this wind is just wreaking havoc. And I was like, finally, they fucking, because it was the wind. But no, Brady looked really good in the first couple games, especially the first game. Brady's looked like way better than you would think in a couple games, and he's looked pretty much dead in a couple games this year too. So
yeah, you know what really brought this concern to just a little bit, and I know it's the Patriots, they're gonna bounce back, they always find a way to get W's, but one thing that really stuck to my mind was, I'm like, holy shit, this guy's actually running for a TD. So I'm like, yo, you're a pocket dude. I don't know what he's thinking, because when he's running, I'm like, stop running, because he plants and then runs, and you see how he runs. He runs like white people dance, man. He's fucking jogging. He looks like he's jogging with cinder blocks on his legs, because he looks like he'd be faster because he's so kind of tall and skinny, and because of how lean he is.
Yeah, but then it's like he's running and you're like, Jesus Christ, is he in the Matrix right now? And I'm just like, don't stop, no, don't do that, because his brain tells him, yes, this is the time to run, but his body he's never been fast though. If you go back to 2001 when he would run, you'd be like, God damn, he's slow. So
exactly. Joe, one last thing though, do you happen to play Mortal Kombat, man?
People in the chat are going to start getting pissed. They're like, fucking football, Mortal Kombat. But no, look, real quick, yeah, I like Mortal Kombat, yeah, but I won't be buying the new game until I hit the lottery, but I am excited about what it looks like.
Terminator's in that bitch right now, so just letting you know. But Joe, thanks again, man. It's the blind guy from Jersey. I love you. I love you too, Jake. Stay sexy, brother.
Good shit, man. We'll definitely hook up. I got your email, by the way.
Much love. Stay sexy.
Joe.
All right, baby.
Hell yeah.
The new Stacy. The new non-pedo Stacy. Blind guy from New Jersey.
What a way to be known. Not a pedophile.
Not the pedophile.
Next week, Joe, it's gonna be lit for sure, because we've got Pac taking on Jon Moxley. Ooh. Obviously, that's gonna be one hell of a match. I'm excited for that.
Yep.
And then we also have the homecoming for Britt Baker, so she'll be in action. Same with the Young Bucks. And then we have the semifinals of the tag tournament already. So we got Private Party and the Lucha Bros, and then we have SCU taking on the Dark Order. So
SCU,
and it's going to be in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah. So interesting to see what happens there next week. Reason I brought up a little bit of WWE news before is just to show like the kind of dichotomy between the two. You go from talking about what's coming and you literally you groaned at what I said before, and with this you're excited. So it's just a a little bit back and forth. And yeah, unfortunately with NXT, I mean, they really are limited on who they have as top tier stars. Velveteen Dream's now injured. Undisputed Era as a whole, when they're together as a unit, they're a star, but pretty much it's just, in my eyes, Adam Cole at this point in time. He's the only standout.
Yeah, Adam Cole is like, he's like my Cody Rhodes of NXT.
Yeah. And then Tommaso Ciampa tonight had his homecoming, his first match back.
I'm excited for that.
Garza, it was not a way, in my eyes, to handle his return. When you see it, I'll hear what you have to say, but I was not thrilled about what we got at all.
Before I started calling matches for Top Rope Promotions years ago when I used to go to indie shows, I used to watch Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah.
2009, 2010, 2011. I put up a video today of Tommaso Ciampa from then. And I used to watch him. He was the Top Rope Promotions heavyweight champion. So, I know Tommaso. I love him. And so I'm really excited to see it. But yeah, when you say that, it's like, oh no, like maybe that's not the best way for him to come back tonight.
It's just not. It's not his fault at all whatsoever. It's just how they're handling him at this point in time. He feels like a huge deal, but an afterthought. So I know they're trying to get over everything with Undisputed Era, and their big play with tonight was that they had a USB drive that had to be checked out, and it shows the attack of Velveteen Dream. It's already been, social media shared. You'll see that. That was kind of their preview of the night. So when you get into everything and how it plays out, it's just, I don't know. It felt like, just standard enhancement. It didn't feel like a huge big deal for Ciampa to be there. It didn't feel like we were progressing anything forward because there's other feuds.
So they treated it like
came before his.
So you're telling me they treated it kind of like hey, reintroducing him because he's back. Like,
yeah,
here's
when
a match
I feel like
against...
this should have been your chance at to steal from Tommy, your home run. Everyone has been going nuts, missing him so immensely, and you
is he being played as a face?
Yes.
What did Gargano?
I understand why, because they're leaning him.
What did Gargano do tonight?
Nothing that I saw, unless I missed a spot with him.
So they should have had Gargano getting beaten down by somebody, and he could come out for the save.
That's where I figured they would go with it, but it's just
he didn't do that. He didn't do that. He didn't do that last week, did he?
No.
Okay, yeah. So I would have done that.
Nothing with Gargano yet. So basically, he so far ran into the ring last week to kind of be the threat.
Who did he wrestle
for Adam
tonight?
Cole. He took on Angel Garza.
So I would have had I would have had no match booked for him, but Tommaso Ciampa is going to appear. I would have advertised that. Tommaso Ciampa, what's he going to say about whatever, da-da-da-da-da. I would have...
last week when he appeared, all he said was, I'm home, or, Goldie, I'm back, I'm home, something like that. And that was it. And he ran off Undisputed Era.
I would have had Tommaso Ciampa addresses the NXT audience tonight. Then I would have had the show start off with Gargano or something like that is in the back, and he bumps into somebody, whoever the guy is that's going to wrestle Ciampa, and like that. So that guy bumps into him, and that guy is like kind of looks at Gargano, and then later on in the night, or maybe Gargano is the one, who's going to address the universe or the NXT world or whatever. And Ciampa's here. Ciampa's in action, or Ciampa's going to be here in NXT. We're going to have an interview with him. And Gargano also coming out to speak to the crowd. So Gargano could have come out, then that guy could jump him, beat the shit out of him with something. And that's when, somebody else could come out and they could, Ciampa could have come out for the save. Crowd pop. Ciampa's there. Ciampa grabs the microphone, says something like, you want to fight somebody? I'll beat the shit out of you right now, or I'll beat your ass right now, or like, let's go, I'm back. And whatever the fuck, I don't back down, or I'm back, you made a mistake because I'm back and I'm pissed and I'm ready for a fight, something like that, and throws the fucking mic down. And now he's fighting that guy. Gargano got him some of the pop. But yeah, okay, but instead he's back just in a sort of enhancement role of like, oh yes, get a win because you're back, and that's it.
Yeah, and no fault to Full Sail. They made it feel, triumphant. They really cheered him on and gave him a hell of an ovation. But it was just the way it was booked.
Okay.
You get this quick squash match, and then Undisputed comes out for this attack angle, and really it's just a diversion to explain away Velveteen Dream's injury, and that's what it all leads into. So it felt like he fell to the wayside for a former feud that now can't even progress due to injury as well. And I know they have to keep things busy while other people are there, but what I think they're attempting to do is to keep Ciampa and Gargano away from each other as much as possible, because they were heading to face each other before the injury happened. They were so interwoven with the NXT title and everything. And then, unfortunately, they started teaming back up. Then they turned on each other again, and it was such a great, compelling story, one of the best we had in NXT. And the injury happened. We weren't able to see, what came of that. And now I think they're going to try and really keep those two away from each other as much as possible until their paths have to cross. rather than rely on it right away. I think they're saving that.
AEW is really missing. What's her face? The girl that left. What's her face? Fuck, god damn it! The Happy Bailey copy. The girl, the smiley face girl. Oh God, Kylie Ray, or fucking can't think of her name.
I can't either now.
But yeah, they're really they needed someone like her. They need some help over there.
Well, their women's division needs quite a bit more. So
CJ
How
Crumb.
can AEW beat Raw in viewership?
CJ Crumb. How can AEW beat Raw in viewership? They're gonna have to start doing shocking things on their Wednesday night show that makes you go, Jesus, did you see that? Tonight was not that.
Yeah, Kylie Ray.
Kylie Ray, there you go.
There you go.
Smiley Kylie.
Thank you.
If you're grading on the WWE scale, sure, every AU show is a 10. But if you're grading it based on sitting down and watching a wrestling show, there's no way you can say it was the weakest yet and still give it more than a 6. Spank me daddy, nervous sweat, aubergine.
Simo, thank you. It's a great point you made, Simo. I think I'm settling on a 6. I'm settling on a 6 tonight. I think AEW was a 6, which is to me, it's like a Meltzer 3 out of 5 or something like that. I don't know. So you know, it was good. It was good tonight, but
Finish IT Joe Ryback Cronin 2K19.
Finish it. I went and I finished in it.
Which is rape, Rybotch. It's rape, Rybotch.
Finished in it.
Oh shit!
What if the turkeys ate
Yes, let it come down from the sky!
Yes! What if they killed us?
Yes!
And ate our children?
It's almost Thanksgiving time in America.
What if they filleted us? If the turkeys ate us? If they had to hate us? Thanksgiving was a little bit different. Instead, the turkeys ate us. They gobbled us apart. But first they'd eat our nuts, and then they'd eat our bud. The turkeys ate us. What if the turkeys ate us? What if the turkeys ate us? What if they ate our fucking nuts? They ate our motherfucking goddamn nuts. Instead of mashed potatoes, instead the turkeys ate us.
The main problem tonight for me was that the show had missed opportunities.
Exactly.
But the biggest was Luxaurus getting injured. That really hurt tonight, emo, because I had them on my bracket to win the whole tournament. Now it's likely going to private party.
Yeah, Luchasaurus. The Soundwave 92, I agree, man, and thank you for the largest donation of the stream, Soundwave, again. Yeah, it's unfortunate because, like you said, you know, we thought they were going to go to the finals and probably win the thing, and now this injury has really derailed that. But, you know, Private Party is on fire right now, so that's not going to, you know, they'll make this thing kick ass anyway. You know, they'll make it work out anyhow. And, you know, but tonight I felt you're right. To me. And you know, they probably executed the plan they wanted, and what they did is what they wanted tonight. So they probably felt pretty strong about it. But I will say, this was a night that I feel like, as you said, there was some missed opportunities tonight. I already gave you my examples of it. I really think there's no greater example than the main event not really being much of a street fight, and kind of, I believe, disappointing some of that Philly crowd, to be honest. But again, the fans love AEW so much, and we do. We love it so much that we're willing it forward. We're willing it forward. We're willing to take some of that. We're willing to get a little more excited about things that maybe if WWE did it, we'd be booing or chanting CM Punk or something. But tonight, again, was much better than a WWE show. Much better. Much different. Much better. But I just felt like they gave us a 6 or a 7 to me. But I feel like they could have pulled out a 9 or 10. And it's not for lack of effort. I felt like the wrestling and the efforts were pretty much all there. It was just some little things from me. But again, like I said, this will probably be the best show of the week. So don't get mad at me.
The first show I'd give an 8, second 8.5, and this one I'd give a 7.5. I'm still a little bit higher than you on it, but I see obviously your points, and I was so entertained. I mean, it took me out of NXT, and I really thoroughly enjoyed some of the other things that we got. So some of my issues were settled and no longer like really something that has to be a focus. Riho was made more of a champion. I like what they did, with really trying to oversell the fact that tag team wrestling is going to be something special. Sure, there was quite a few tag matches, but I think that's going to level itself out once the tournament's over.
Right.
Then we will have the tag team titles there. So again, it's only the third show. The title defense was good. Like you said, there always could be more, but at least we want more. So I was thoroughly entertained. And I'm really curious to see how everything runs down next week now. Semifinals and the Moxley match. And, at least that we have something to look forward to.
And if you stick around, I'm going to go through a lot of phone calls in a little while. So if you are still trying to get on, we will try to get you over here. Now, we did get Jake to lower his rating, so thank you, Jake. I'm starting to corrupt him. No, but I mean, I wasn't sure either. I've lowered mine. I went from 7 maybe to 6.5 to 6.
Yeah, I was so hyped coming out of the ending. Like I said, I really, really liked the way it ended.
It was good. Again, and we're giving it a good grade. It's a good rating. It's not a bad one. You would think we're shitting on it. We're giving 6 is a good rating.
You have to defend.
One of the reasons for that, to give a show a 6, is because you really want to make room for when they do an amazing show, so that there's room.
That's it too. And I mean, it's so new that the scale is going to be all over the place.
I agree.
I don't always, address some of the chat when you get these comments, but every now and again, I hear something, and they say people shit. This is from Mark. He said people shit on WWE for bringing in old guys.
He's a mark.
He's a mark. But AEW has a 50-year-old, champion, and he's like, "Oh, Kane is bad, but Hager is gold." And he's like, "Get the fuck out of here." And I said, "Well, no, that's not the case at all, because
Hager looks like he beat the shit out of Kane."
Exactly, and Kane also. Velasquez is not in the shape that he's not even in fighting shape right now. He needs surgery. His knee needs to be repaired surgically, and I don't know how it's going to go over for this fight in Saudi. It's probably going to be a shit show. I'm really curious what they're going to do to make it worthwhile. But
right.
And as far as we complain about bringing in old guys. Well, yeah, when they bring in Goldberg to face Undertaker, and we get something like we did at the last Saudi show, that's such an embarrassment that both men don't even want to look back. That's terrible. But if they have somebody that's older, that's competent, that can still go in the ring, that can still wrestle and give you... Jericho hasn't given us below an 8 out of 10 match, I think, in ages.
Well, and the thing about Jericho,
he's consistent. He delivers. He's one of the top things right now. So to have, a near 50-year-old champion...
Who are you going to put the belts on? Here's my question. Is he still in the chat? Who do you put the belts on? Is he still in here? What's his name?
I don't know. It was Mark Vlogs, I believe. I'm not sure if he's still here, but
Mark,
this is a little while ago.
Mark, in the chat. Mark, what the fuck? Who do you put the belt on? No, go. It's in the other room. I'm talking to Leah. It's in the other room. Mark, who would you put the belt on? Like, out of everybody on the roster, you're not cool with Jericho. Jericho is a legend that will cement the belt, so when he passes it off to the new guys, it's going to be a big deal. It's the same way why you have Lesnar's undefeated sort of situation, and you have whoever's going to pin Lesnar is going to be the guy you're going to be passing the torch to. That's why they gave it to Roman Reigns. Then they gave it to Seth Rollins after Reigns didn't work. That was very important. This is the same sort of thing. The belt means something, and it means more with Jericho. Where's the guy?
Because I wasn't even sold as Jericho being the champion at first, remember? I was the one kind of rooting for Hangman Page, and then I was shown up again. And Mark said, again, people are shitting on Kane's physique.
I get it, Mark. I get it.
It's not Kane's physique. It's the fact that Kane is injured right now.
Well, dude,
I didn't say anything about his physique.
My God, this drives me nuts.
He's injured.
Somebody the other day was like, "What's the difference between Owens and Kane?" Owens wears his shirt. Owens comes down to the ring with a fucking shirt on. If Owens came down to the ring without a shirt on, you'd be like, "Who's this fat slob?" But exactly same thing with Kane. When Kane comes down to the ring without a shirt on, he looks fucking weird. But if
I don't even care how he looks coming down the ring. I mean,
but tell me who's the belt?
Kettle Black. I hate the fact that I know for a fact that he's injured and he needs to have his knee surgically repaired. So he wanted to postpone this fight till after Mania, but they don't think that if he had the surgery now, he'd be cleared in time for Mania.
I'm fucking getting pissed off. Like, who the fuck is gonna have the belt?
They said Omega.
I'm still waiting to find out. Omega?
Said Omega.
Okay, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. Omega would be my choice.
He said put it on
Cody.
Kenny or Moxley.
Cody,
I don't.
No, Cody or Omega would be my pick, but because here's the thing, the crowd goes off for Cody. They're going off for Cody. Like when
you want Cody chasing that belt, that's more your money.
I think I think Cody should keep chasing it, and maybe not get it for a little while because that would be pretty cool. Oh, did my accent come out? I'm sorry.
Back.
Did it really? I'm sorry. I'm trying not to do that because from Boston, I gotta try not to. Yeah, my bad if my accent was coming out. I didn't even notice that.
I'm just parking the car.
I did take a couple shots earlier, so that could be why. My bad. I grew up in Boston. What am I gonna do? But yeah. Anyway. But you know what? No one knows that. A lot of people don't even. They're like, "Oh, I didn't even know you were from there," because I'm used to the pronunciation of like when I went to school for radio and broadcasting. When I was in whatever the fuck they tried to train that out of you, and it worked. Whenever I get behind a mic, it goes away usually. But I did have a couple little shots earlier because I was so pumped during AEW. I was like, "Fucking bam, having a shot!" But it was like a happy party feeling. Jones, thanks for subbing to the channel, man. Welcome to the Joe Cronin Show, Jones. Hit that subscription button because daily wrestling podcasts and videos. When I'm watching AEW, I'm like, yeah, fucking party. When I watch WWE, I'm like, oh, look.
AEW channeling Teddy Long's tag team match.
Everybody loves the accent.
Hell yeah, playa. Let's fucking go. Mr. Mosby, thanks for the donation, man. Appreciate that, dude. Thank you for keeping my family
What else we got? Oh,
with power
a little
on.
bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
I am giving AEW an 8 out of 10. My only complaint tonight is that it's more of the same match here, match there, promo match here, video package, tag match, main event. They need to switch their up formula, and that also applies to NXT.
I agree, Dwayne the Cock Johnson. I think they got to switch it up all around. You're right. If they keep sticking to the same repetitive formula, crowds want more nowadays. Back in the day, you would have a formula and you would stick to it because it was working. Nowadays, people get really bored easily in a weird way. So, yeah, they got to always be throwing stuff out at us.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Oh, cuck farb. Jake has better man titters than Tommy. His are filled with love, not pastry filling.
What
Cheer
the
up,
fuck?
Tommy. Crystal can always use a condom with me next time.
Oh, my God, dude. What in the fuck?
Better man titters. That's right.
By the way, the name of that guy was My Little Wee Wee.
Willie.
My Little Willie. Oh, I thought it was Wee Wee. It's Willie, you're right.
My Little Willie.
You want to see My Little Willie? Oh, here he comes. Our friend from Botch Club on Instagram. 24,000 followers on Instagram. It's Botch Club. My God. Here they come. He is the perfect Canadian Sean Spears.
Botch Club and the Wrestle Daily on Instagram. Follow, share, support. From Providence, Rhode Island, all the way around the world.
Yeah.
#1 entertainment and news. Joe, please show your audience US. #Jimmy Miranda Award, tweet, comment, and message at WWE.
Fuck yeah, baby. You guys have to check out Botch Club on Instagram. I follow them, and every once in a while they put some of my videos up on Botch Club too. And they are followed by guys like Chris Jericho and Stone Cold Steve Austin and so many of the popular wrestlers in WWE follow Botch Club on Instagram. And I'm trying to find their Instagram right now. There they are. I'm telling you guys, go check these guys out and give them a follow. My computer is going to freeze. Like, this is so bad. Thanks for the donations, guys, because I'm going to have to buy a new computer. Like, I may have to fucking take a credit card and just get one, because this is not good. And this is the living, so it's got to happen. This is fucking hilarious stuff. And it's like daily, there's tons of shit on here. So check out Botch Club on Instagram. Go follow them. And while you're there, follow me too. Joe Cronin Show on Instagram. Instagram.com/Joe Cronin Show and Instagram.com/Botch Club. It's like a more like rapid fire botchamania, but you get all the single clips right away, come in all the time. Every couple hours there's another one. So enjoy it. And thank you guys, Botch Club, for the $10. Much appreciated. I want to get back to AEW a little bit. Lots to talk about. I will take phone calls now. 339-226-6610 if you're on Skype outside the country. Just accept and add Danny Deadly. DANNY. DEADLY. And then we'll be good to go. On the phone, 361. Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Joe?
What's up, man?
Just wanted to call in. Moxley's looking like a fucking beast, dude. Like,
yeah. He did a little Stone Cold tonight. Here's the finger, boot to the midsection.
Yeah.
Paradigm shift. It was cool.
Right. I feel like ever since he had his G1, like his striking and just like his brawling in general just like looks like way better than it ever did in the WWE.
Yeah, you know,
like he's actually believable now.
Yeah, he is a little bit more believable. He does have to, and I think he'll get better with it. I think he's so used to what the WWE was doing. But yeah, he's definitely a brawler too, and that's why I felt like him and Kenny Omega could have a pretty fun match, because his style is so different. He's going to make Kenny Omega do different things,
right,
and Omega's going to make him do maybe different things. But right now, to be honest, Kenny Omega and Janela is the best thing I've seen in AEW so far. That was amazing.
Yeah, that match was like fucking nuts. Like that just sold the show to so many YouTube viewers like that day yesterday.
Yeah, I was fired. I couldn't wait to see it on TV because, I mean, I had pretty good seats where I was, but I was like, I can't wait till that comes out to see that on TV.
Right. I feel like a lot of people are kind of judging AEW because they say, you know, it's a fucking flip fest, a super kick fest, whatever. But they have guys like Moxley, MJF. You can fucking throw in, I guess, Sean Spears, you know, if he gets booked right, you know, like guys that actually have contrasting styles compared to, you know, the Omegas and Hangmans and, you know, fucking the Bucks and shit, you know, like it's not all
I
super
disagree.
athletic, you know, like they have a variety. You
I
know?
disagree with them. You're right. I disagree with them, and here's why. I'm not the biggest fan of those flippy floppy things everywhere. And here's the thing. When we were watching AEW not takeovers, but the all-ins and the double or nothings and all that stuff, if you remember, a lot of people were calling like, dude, the Young Bucks stole the show. This other match stole the show. Every single time I was like, for me, Cody and Dustin stole the show. For me, Cody and this guy stole the show. I thought a lot of Cody's matches has stole the show for me. And the thing about it is,
the storytelling is great.
Right, but that's a buffet right there. It's not, everybody's not doing the flips, right, or not yet. That hasn't, I mean, a little bit on TV here we've seen that, but for me it's, they're trying to make it a buffet and a variety. And I think they're almost getting that every time. So I don't agree with those people.
It's just like New Japan.
Yeah,
honestly, like if you watch New Japan, you have athletic dudes, you have strong style, you got stiff wrestlers, like you got a bunch of everything, you know?
Well, the good thing
I think that's what makes a good show.
But what's better about this to me than New Japan is this, and like New Japan, obviously the wrestling is amazing, but the fact that I'm able to understand a little bit more of the stories and it's more American, so this works for me better. But what you're saying is true, but like this works for me better because I can get into the stories a little bit more. I want that variety. I want to feel like some guys have characters, some guys are kind of comedy, some guys are charismatic and tell stories, some guys are just going to go out there and it's going to be a car wreck. Whatever, it's all different. I like the diversity of it.
Right, I love it. Another thing was the fuck was I gonna say? I feel like a lot of people say that they need more promos, and like I agree to a certain point. I just don't want it to get to WWE standards where it's just like, let's sit here for fucking 15 minutes and listen to somebody talk on the mic. You know what I mean? Like I agree that there has to be more promos, but hopefully they don't overdo it to the point to where, you know, you're only getting fucking 40 minutes of wrestling a night from a 3-hour show. You know
I
what
wish
I mean?
I
Hopefully
want
it
a little
doesn't get
bit
to that
more.
point.
I want a little bit more
Right.
like backstage stuff and maybe like one or two backstage video or something a little bit more than the in the ring stuff. They need. I think they need a little bit more of non-ring stuff to me.
Right. I
They
agree.
need to add a bit more here and there. That's what I said. And I guess you know, Why Hate said that Moxley did cut a promo, but it was during the commercial. You know, he was talking on the mic, and it just sucks that all right, it's during a commercial break, so we don't get to see it at home. Things
Yeah, it
like
was unfortunate. They're actually chanting CZW during the commercial. Like, we didn't even get to hear it. Like, it was pretty crazy.
that. See,
The fucking
That's
Philly
fine.
crowd going nuts. But, yeah. I enjoyed the show. It wasn't as good as last week, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't, you know, a good show overall, and I'm impressed by what they gave us. And I'm really just hoping that, you know, it continues to be an upswing for the most part. We just keep seeing them improve more and more and more. There are things, obviously, like we said, you know, with some of the rules issues and some decisions like that. But for a 2-hour show with no run over, you know, timing is an issue, so they have to go ahead and make sure they're hitting things at certain times. And it seems like they're still a bit nervous at that, so they're trying to end early rather than later. So that's why they might have a little bit of, you know, time to fill in here and there and not quite know what to do. I think they'll get better, but it is only their third week live.
Right.
They have a lot of kinks to work out. But I give them a ton of credit for what we've gotten.
Right. I feel like another thing, like, about the rules, a lot of people are so used to WWE, like, they've never watched anything outside of WWE, but the referee discretion type stuff, like, if you watch New Japan, and I'm sorry for always comparing AEW to New Japan, I just feel like AEW is like,
Well,
New
they have
Japan
a lot of
mixed with
similarities. And
WCW.
they have agreements to work, and so it makes sense.
A lot of this stuff started from a lot of this stuff comes from New Japan because we all said, I've been saying for years, like, yeah, New Japan's great because remember all the people that went to the New Japan app and it was like, yeah, it's great, but it doesn't quite translate for everybody. If they could just do like New Japan, but a new promotion in America, God, they could kill it, and then they did. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right. Oh no, yeah. I just feel like I guess I've been watching New Japan for a couple of years, so like I get the whole referee rule discretion thing. Like, I don't have a problem with that, but I can understand why people from WWE don't really get it because they're so used to hardcore officiating that they want to shit on it because, like, oh, like the ref's letting them, you know, play out a match, or like the ref missed something or whatever the fuck. Like, I think like right now, like, it's all right. I mean, if it gets to the point where they're doing this shit every fucking week, then I could understand, you know, but I'm just so used to refs discretion, like rules. Like, I was watching Moxley in the fucking G1, and Red Shoes let Mox and whoever he was fighting fight outside the ring for, you know, who knows how long, just because that was a ref's decision, and nobody was complaining about it because it was a good match. You know what I mean?
So it's up to their discretion. I think if they made that a bit clearer, like in WWE, they reverse decisions every now and again, or they'll have another ref come out, or they'll, you know, we haven't really seen ref bump and you know, so that's the thing right now. So if they made it perfectly clear that, hey, the ref has the final say, and we're not going to go against that. You know, if the ref didn't see it and the shoulders weren't down, we're going to stay with it because that's what the ref called. You know, we might give you a rematch, but we're not going to give you, you know, a decision change. I think that they need to expound on that more and really, really go down that road, saying how, you know, the ref has the final say so.
And yeah, thank you for the call. Good call. If I hang up on you, it's not because you're bad or anything. I'm just trying to plow through calls. So I appreciate all the calls you're all doing. It's all great. I'm just trying to plow through calls is all. I'm not mad or anything like that if I hang up on you. 267, hello.
What's up, guys? This is really awesome. Been listening to you for about a year. First time calling, but love what you guys do.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you got it. I was at the show tonight in Philly.
Hell yeah.
So it's funny because I brought my buddy who never saw, you know, WWE. He did have like a negative perception of it. And I was like, you know, I was telling him like, you know, this is way different. They're doing things differently.
Yep. Can I ask you something before you tell me what you thought of tonight? Were you disappointed by the street fight?
I heard you mention it about 10 minutes ago, and I was going to mention it as well. I was upset. I didn't say anything, but I was excited for the past week about it when they announced it. I said this would be awesome. I even told my buddy, I said they're having a street fight. I got him pumped up about it, telling him what previous ones have entailed, and it was disappointing.
Thought so. All right, I felt that. I felt the crowd was like, I feel like the crowd was like, listen, we love you, AEW, so we're not gonna really go crazy, but there was gonna be that feeling like that was the street fight.
Exactly. Especially being so close to ECW, original home.
I think they missed on that, unfortunately for them. I don't know why they did, but they, and especially when you guys just saw what I saw in Boston last week, even though it was a dark match, Janela and Kenny Omega just destroying in a hardcore match.
Right.
Why did you guys not get that? I'm glad I got it, but it wasn't on TV. But did anything? All right, I'll let you go because you have a lot to say, and I definitely want to hear about the dark matches, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, so my buddy, not having any prior, experience watching WWE, but he had a bad perception. We were walking out tonight. He wanted to buy a hoodie for AEW.
Wow.
I mean, it really shows the difference. I've been to 2 live shows for Raw the past year, one last October and then in March. And I mean, tonight, and it wasn't perfect, but it was better than both of those shows combined, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I said to him, well, SmackDown's going to be here next month. Do you want to go? He said he said no. He said he didn't want to go see WWE. He said no, I'll definitely go see AEW again. And I love WWE, but and I want to get him into it. But like you guys say all the time, it's like with AEW, it's kind of like the WWF where people would watch it and they say like, this is really cool. But now you watch WWE and it's like, this is childish or it don't make sense, and it's just, why would you want to show an adult this?
Yeah, you feel embarrassed like when you talk about WWE. When you talk about AEW, you're less embarrassed, and even if somebody does make fun of you, you don't care because you're like, I don't care, I think it's awesome. But with WWE, you go, yeah, I don't know why I watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I would tell anybody, by the way, everybody always asks me, Joe, should I go? Should I go to WWE? I mean, I'm just going to tell you, no. Why would you go? Why would you go to this TV product from SmackDown or Raw? And, I say go to all the wrestling. Go to as much wrestling as you can, as you want. Support wrestling. But, God, why you ask me, I don't know. But if you do, no, this is embarrassing what they're doing right now.
I mean, WWE has so many... top star talent and teams and individuals, and they don't know what to do with them. And I feel like AEW has some formed plan for everybody in some regards. It feels like, if you weren't featured on the main show, we're going to get you on Dark. We're going to, and they're going to try and cycle people out for the roster. You're not going to see Jericho fight every week, more than likely. You're not going to see Kenny Omega fight. We didn't see the Young Bucks in action tonight, even though we did.
The
so
dark
they're trying
match,
to give people a chance. I mean, I'm reading earlier how the Usos and Naomi weren't included in the draft and weren't brought back just because creative has no idea what to do with them.
I thought it was for the punishment of the DUI stuff.
WWE right now is at a thing right now. A lot of people felt that, since Jimmy Uso was charged with a DUI in July, that was it. But WWE currently is saying whatever happens in your personal life happens in your personal life.
Wow, they have just done a 180 on that. Well, tell that to Adam Rose, who hung up a phone on a 911 call and got taken out of the company.
Well, if only AEW was around then, because now they're anybody gets a third strike for the wellness policy, they're no longer counting violations.
I wish AEW would bring him in because he's such a freak now.
Oh, I know, he's massive. We were speaking about this the other day, but I mean, like I said, it feels like AEW has a plan with a lot of these performers and talent. So when you tell people, do you want to go see WWE, and they say no, I'm not surprised.
Well, to the caller, was there anything else you wanted to tell us about tonight? Maybe the dark match. I know there was a crazy last one, probably the tag match.
Yeah, so the tag match was awesome. What stuck out to me the most was at the end. Just a gratitude from Cody at the very end, thanking all the fans. He said he had 102 fever last night, and he said he made sure that he was going to come out and wrestle tonight. So it was just that gratitude that he gave back.
Yeah, he I think he's been saying that to the crowd every show. He did it in Boston too, man. Yeah, sorry. he came out. He was pumped up the crowd afterwards, and but that's good though. I mean, you get to see, and you really get to see everybody almost. With the dark, even if it's off air, they really gave you a full show. And there wasn't like some 205 that happens or like some Saturday morning event. Like it feels like AEW Dark is. I mean, dude, other than Private Party and the Young Bucks last week. I got to see that, but then I got to see the Janela Omega match, but that was fucking a dark match. So it felt like that was special too. It was just crazy. What was the best match of the night being there? What do you think what was the
for me, this is probably biased, but I always wanted to see Kenny live. So being able to see him, like I've seen some of the other guys live, but being able to see Kenny for the first time, that was awesome.
That's cool. So you and your buddy are going to go to the next one probably, and probably hope that they do something hardcore for you in Philly next time.
Yeah, for sure. Or we're going to go. I told him we'll check out the Tommy Dreamer House of Hardcore. I'll take him to that.
Oh, hey, listen, I got to promote that. I'm so glad you brought that up. Tommy Dreamer, man, if he's listening, thank you, Tommy, because that was very nice of you the other day. What Tommy said to me the other day out of nowhere, and the guy didn't say anything back. That's the funniest thing. I'm like, hey, thanks, and blah, 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 and Tommy just didn't ever get back to me, but he took a second to say, you got really good commentary. So, Tommy, you know what, motherfucker? House of Hardcore, November 23rd, House of Hardcore in Philadelphia. Yes, NXT War Games is that same night, but fuck it. If you have a chance to go to a live show, go to a live show.
Go to that instead.
When you get home, watch War Games. So go to House of Hardcore, Tommy Dreamer, November 23rd, and then come home and watch NXT. It'll be a fun night of wrestling, or maybe you end up not getting home because you went to the bar and you got fucked up, and then you had sex with a transvestite, and you decided that you're more open sexually, and you have a great night. It's unbelievable. And then the next day you get tested, and then you come home, and then you watch War Games. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, caller, thanks, man, for the call. And anything you want to say real quick?
Appreciate it.
You good? Thank you, man.
Good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, bro.
Hey, have a great night. Thank you for
good
calling.
shit, man. All the way in Philly, baby. Up in Philly. My boys up in Philly. I mean, listen, Boston and Philly don't always get along, but one thing I know is Philly's insane, and I kind of like that about him. 502, what's up?
What's up, Jack? What's up, Joe?
How you doing, bro?
Great night, man. A great night. You guys were talking about earlier who would they put the belt on. Honestly, I want you guys to think about this one. Now, me in my mind, wins and losses matter here in AEW. And I genuinely think with Pac defeating Kenny at All Out, that Pac would be the best choice to go with, simply because I heard you guys talking earlier about Kenny and Moxley becoming a team. So after that, who else is there legitimate? And I know that Jericho's a heel, and you want a face to, possibly take the title. But honestly, Pac, he would be a great fit simply because wins and losses matter, and he is ahead right now in the wins and losses category.
How many matches has Pac had? 2?
He's had 3.
All right, so he's 2 and 2 out of 3, right? Two wins, 1 loss.
Yes, I believe so. I got to check out on that. But if I'm correct, I really do think that Pac has the most wins right now, because Kenny tonight was his first win, if you don't count the AEW Dark match.
Yeah, that's my question. Do AEW Dark count?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I should have asked Cody that when he was on the fucking show. God damn it, I should have asked Cody. I'm going to message Cody later. I'm going to message Cody. In fact, you know what? Fucking...
Secondly,
he's probably sick.
Guys, I want to talk about the street fight real quick. Now, me personally, I enjoyed it, but yet I still get the outcry of it. But me, honestly, the one thing of the one match to me that really stood out as holy shit to me was like the best hardcore / street fight thing of the whole entire year was that fight for the following with Moxley and Janela. They absolutely tore that shit up. And I honestly haven't seen anything like that in years. And that was holy shit.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
It was fun to watch, no doubt.
And another thing, I actually do get the thing, that you guys say about they need more backstage segments or anything like that. I get that, but honestly, this was their third show. Like I was just telling my brother, tonight, I was telling him it will come. Give it time.
Yeah,
it
definitely.
Will come.
I mean, we're trying to give them
more
time.
Women.
Let it develop.
More women, like more women and everything. Just I can give it time because they want to establish Rio as the women's champion. So I get why she's continually pushed on television because they want the audience to know who the champion is. They're building stories towards Full Gear. So honestly, everything that we're thinking or wanting as far as promos and segments and in-ring segments, it's gonna come. So that's my gripe about tonight. It will come, but AEW is doing great. I honestly loved it that like it's actually like the Attitude Era, to where everybody is getting a piece of the pie, and I fucking love it. I fucking love it that everybody's getting a piece of the pie. Everybody's getting treated like they're important, and that's what WWE should do, but they're not. So hey, it is what it is.
No, you're not wrong. And that's the thing. Like, we definitely consider what is to come. I mean, that's what part of the things I was talking about, what's coming next week, what they can do in the future. We know that they're going to keep expounding and adding upon the product that they have now. Problem is, though, is that, we have to strictly review it off of what we see in front of us, not what's coming down the road. So, but I am giving them certainly a bit of a break as well, knowing that they're only 3 episodes in. They still have so much more to offer. They are growing and learning. Plus, it seems like they are genuinely listening to the fans. I feel like that's a true statement. I noticed that AEW Twitter account going off constantly. Like, what did you think of this? What did you think of that? Here's your weekly, viewer poll. What did you give us this type of feedback? Hey, we want to hear your reviews of AEW After Dark, AEW's, all this stuff. We want to get everything from you. And they have been getting a great deal of feedback from the fans. So it seems like they're shaping their show around that as well.
Okay, so I'm trying to remember because the other night, Jim Ross, or whoever was on commentary, Jim Ross and Excalibur, they mentioned out of nowhere during the Omega and Janela match that this match doesn't count towards wins and losses because it's like a dark match or a blackout match or something. So that, to me, does that mean that the other matches counted, but the Janela Kenny didn't count because it was a blackout match? They weren't saying that it was because of AEW Dark. They were saying because it was like a blackout match. So
I would just take that as Dark not counting, but I don't know. I see what you're saying. Like, they're saying that one particular.
So, because I think Dark does count, but JR did say this won't count like a normal match would because it's a non-sanctioned match or something like that.
Yeah, because it was an unsanctioned street fight.
Right. They said that. So
yeah. That's interesting. You can kind of take that both ways.
Yeah. So I think it counts, but it doesn't. And this is where you get into some we need to not become WWE here. And you know what I mean? We need to not have this fucking the whatever the fuck. What was the rule? The rule where you could jump from SmackDown to fucking Raw.
Oh, the wild card
rule?
We
need to be careful with this, so hopefully it all counts. It was a lights out match, Firebird says. Yes, that's right, lights out match. So yeah, I don't know. We're still a little bit iffy on that. I just asked a couple people. There's a few people, at least from AEW, that I can ask. So I don't know, man. Maybe I'm dumb. I'm going to look dumb. But I'm asking anyway. 510, hello.
Hey, Joe, man, what's up? I'm a first-time caller.
Hell yeah, baby. What's
nice
up?
To hear from you.
First time.
It's my first time. Yeah, I wanted to talk about AEW. Pretty much, I guess I'm somewhat in the minority, but I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10, just because, not only do I like how these matches are different, but it's like they're finding ways for the pro wrestlers to adapt their characters into these storylines. You know, every time I watch Raw and SmackDown, it's almost like watching a bunch of robots wrestle, dude. You know, it's like I feel like I could play 2K19 and make better storylines. It's pretty sad. You know, so every time I watch AEW, it's just so refreshing. You know, like even the fact like with the Darby Allin match, you know, like unfortunately I kind of wanted it to be a lot more of a Philly street fight, but I did like his hands getting tied behind his back and him just being like, you know what, I'm Darby Allin, fuck this, I'm gonna start jumping off the rope and fucking him up. You know, like I love that shit. Like I felt like I haven't seen stuff like that in a really long time. So
yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, we've all kind of seen the hands taped or the handcuffs happen, but we've never seen somebody be like, all right, fuck it, I still got to go. You know?
So much offense, you know, able to get in.
I mean, if he had sat down and put his hands under his legs, he could have gotten out of it, though, pretty easy, but, you know, at least from behind him. But, yeah, no, I still thought it was cool. I still thought what they did was cool, but it just felt like they did the street fight just so they could have Darby Allin do that with his hands taped, you know what I mean, without getting a DQ or whatever.
Right.
It didn't feel like a real street fight besides that. That was more of a story. Why did you make it a street fight, you know? So to me that was a little bit of a letdown, but I agree that tonight was still good. It just didn't have the spark for me that the other nights had.
Yeah, really. I can see that.
Yeah,
and especially like you said, getting all that offense in was cool.
Mm-hmm. What else you got?
I was just gonna say, well, to add to your point, man, it's kind of like he was more like a no holds barred rather than like a street fight, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't know if that makes any sense. It's like they kind of just used what they had and broke the rules a little bit, but
yeah.
I mean, I was kind of expecting like complete mayhem, but I mean, for what it was still great.
Well,
I want to make one more point.
When they say street fight in Philadelphia as the main event, you think like, oh shit, I can't miss this tonight, and then you saw it and you went, oh, that's all they did. I guess I thought they would do more.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it too. It's just kind of like, you know, like if I'm gonna watch a street fight, you know, I'm thinking like Raven versus Sandman, or you know,
right.
Like we're just maybe something better than that. But you know, I just kind of wish they would have like went all out in some way for it. But it was good for what it was, I guess.
Yeah, it was pretty good. They just needed to do a little bit more for what we all thought they were going to give us. What was your last point, though?
My last point was about, I felt like they slightly made a misstep with the tag team tournament, because I feel like Jurassic Express, like they got a pretty good demographic going on with like a lot of the teams and stuff like that, as far as Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. I know Luchasaurus is injured, so they had to kind of make do a little bit, but you know, I kind of wanted to at least see Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy like in the finals, or maybe even win, because a lot of the feedback I hear on that tag team is very different to me.
I think they were going to win. I think they were going to win, but not now. They were going to win, we thought, though. That was like...
It sounded and seemed that way.
Yeah.
So this is another thing called on the fly. Do we know much about his injury yet, or no?
It's a hamstring injury, so I don't know yet what the exact thing is. It sounded almost like he was trying to go, like, in a way. So my opinion is that it's a tweaking of the hamstring. It's a slight tweak. If it's a slight tweak of the hamstring, then, you know, he can be good to go in, you know, two to 4 weeks. If he pulled it pretty decently, then you're talking, you know, 2 to 6 weeks. If he ripped it slightly and it's bruising, I mean, that could be a little bit longer than that, but it won't be too long no matter what, I wouldn't think. Unless he tore it completely, you know, he should be back within... I'm expecting Luchasaurus to be back within 2 to 6 weeks. Probably sooner, though, than later. It sounds like it's just a tweaking of the hamstring, but, you know, you can re-injure
because,
it.
I mean, he certainly wasn't going to be ready by next week, or else they could have figured something out for this week.
Well, because then that's what I thought. I thought because they made it sound like it was very minor, you know, they could have done, like you said, like they could have done that thing where the interference from SCU again, getting those guys the win. But I don't think they wanted to taint the keep wanting to call them fucking prehistoric forest. The Jurassic Express at all. I think they wanted them to be pure win, and because they couldn't get to that point, and I think they really felt like Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy could have this kind of sort of big win over the Lucha Bros, but with having only Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt, I mean, I just felt like that would be, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but that would have been an insult to the Lucha Brothers. So they just could not do it. They couldn't do it. So that derailed their what the plans probably were for them. Let me go back to the donations real quick from you guys.
Here we go. I'm about to get it, man.
Here we go.
About to get it, man.
Mr. Mosby.
Here we go. Oh, no.
Hey Joe, I have an eBay store. If you want, I can build you a stream rendering PC.
Aw, Mr. Mosby, thanks, man. Maybe message me later about it. We'll see if we can do that. I'll think about it. Usually what I do is I either go to Newegg or I go to Cambridge, Mass, and I buy all the parts and I build one. I don't know if I'm going to build one this time around. I'm not sure. Dude, I'm running... This thing is 3 years old, and when I built it, I got an i7 6700 inside this thing. I think they're on like 9,000 or 10,000 or something now. I'm on the 6,700 still.
Yeah, the 10,000 series coming out soon.
Jesus.
Well, eventually.
Yeah, see, this is running slow because of all the wear and tear. I mean, you're talking about everyday streaming, gaming on this computer.
I want to tickle your belly button from the inside.
Brandon Lee, oh my God, why don't you get shot on the movie set again? No, I'm just kidding. What's up, Brandon? Thank you, bro. Love the Crow. Jericho, not so much of a good artist when it comes to that face paint with the Crow stuff. The Rose just subscribed to me on Twitch, man. What up, Rose? Rose Gaming. Thank you, dude. It's free for you to do it, and I get $3. Well, you can pay for it, but if you have Amazon Prime, it's free for you to do it.
Yeah, the Rose was, showing footage before of how 2K20 has so many just glitches, and it's out in 5 days. Obviously, it's finished, it's ready to go, and just every 2K game and WWE game has oh, look at that's messed up, but this is like a constant. Every single thing seems to have some type of huge technical glitch or graphical glitch. So
there's so many problems with 2K20.
Did y'all give up on trying to review NXT as well?
Why Society will be talking about NXT tomorrow. I'll be doing my review tomorrow. Jake probably talk a little bit more about it in a minute, but I'll be doing the review tomorrow.
What else we got? Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it. The bubbly.
Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
Went to Dynamite tonight. Shit was awesome. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, Sasha's mouth blood. What's up? Thanks for the $3. Yeah, and I mean, if you went there, it's probably way more exciting too. So you're probably like an 8 out of 10 to you, or 8.5 out of 10, or 9 or something. I don't know, because it's probably more exciting in real life. But we're doing well tonight, though, man. AEW reviews are rivaling WWE ones. We've had over 1,000 in here for a while tonight, and on top of that, over 11,000 come in and out.
Super chat. They took out Creative Title
They don't
too?
need
Damn,
Kylie Ray, they need Tessa Blanchard.
They don't need Kylie Ray, they need Tessa Blanchard. Yeah, no, I agree. They do need Tessa Blanchard. Corwin Eberly, what's up, Corwin? Thank you. They took out Creative Title.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Who the fuck's going to buy
bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
Lol, just tuning into the review. I guess the live experience was better.
Yes. Sasha's Mouthblood, thanks for the $3. Yeah, it was definitely better live. I'm sure it was, because I'm giving it a 6 from home. I'm sure you'd give it like an 8.5 or 9 for being there. So that always makes sense. Live is usually always 2 or 3 grades higher. So that totally makes sense to me. They had a good show tonight. AEW had a good show. They just had some missed opportunities, I felt. And I told you what they were earlier. I'll try to compile them for you.
Super chat. I wish AEW had a beast like Killer Cross.
Yeah, well, where's Wardlow? Corwin Eberly, we're still waiting for Wardlow.
There's a few people. I mean, they said it's only 40% of the roster, so it's just going to keep developing.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want everybody to come out and get bored of them. We're going to be able to bring in people and mix it up. Mark Vlogs, thank you for subscribing, Mark.
This is
Firebird said Matt Jackson said that AEW Dark counts in the win-loss records of wrestlers.
Where do you say that?
Probably on Twitter, but
I
this is
just
what
joined. Is there
Firebird said in
going
the
to
chat.
be out of nowhere tonight? I give tonight's show a
So.
6/10 for AU and NXT. I was a little more invested in NXT tonight, but both shows were good.
Varsity Pussy, thank you for becoming a $5 shit bum. No, Varsity Pussy out of nowhere is now on Thursday nights. Out of nowhere is now at 11 p.m. on Thursday nights. And I'm taking applications for a third co-host, but you got to be really good. Only one person can win that spot. Please send me your YouTube channel stuff or your podcast stuff or whatever the fuck, and make sure it's good, and try to have a video camera if you can, but not...
Pick helps too.
Sexy pick helps too.
Overall good show. Darby impresses every time we see. Not be the best show they have done, but what matters most is consistent thumbs up shows. Love you, Joe and Donation. Been watching since 2016.
Wow. Danny Gould, thanks very much for the $5.04. What a bizarre amount, but I love it. Overall good show. Darby impresses every time. I agree. Darby Allin does impress me. He's 170 pounds, though. So, which is fine. But, yeah, he impresses every time. I do like him. I like his entrance music. Not a big fan of a lot of the entrance music right now, but Darby's is good. Good enough, I guess. Who had really bad stuff? Like, John Moxley's is kind of like, all right. And then, there was somebody else tonight that I thought their music was just awful. And I can't remember.
Super Chat. The crowd already cares about many unknowns.
Right. Yeah, Brother Keith TV. Thank you. And yeah, it's like, dude, the crowd's going to care about people. They're going to start trying to care about people.
The crowd was chanting happy birthday to Kenny Omega.
Yeah, and for a shoe.
They never do that in WWE.
And for a shoe. Scorpio Sky.
Well, a shoe as well, but I'm saying...
Scorpio Sky got one of the loudest...
chant happy birthday in WWE ever.
Yeah.
I've never seen it happen.
Everybody was tweeting about his birthday today, so they were ready, it's his birthday. Let's go.
That was just a really cool moment, and it was short-lived, but it was still pretty emphatic. So
yeah, it's pretty cool. You're wrestling, they're all chanting happy birthday. That's pretty crazy. Back to the calls. Got some more calls coming in. 270, hello.
How you doing, Joe?
What's up, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Jake?
Doing good. How's it going?
I'm doing great, guys. I checked out the show tonight. I just wanted to weigh in and give my 2 cents. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from AEW so far. It feels good to see a show again that actually has wrestling on it for once. Monday nights have just become such a drag. And Joe, I check out your show and I know exactly what you're going through. It literally puts me to sleep every time as well. But I did check out both shows. I really did. I checked out both shows tonight. I really think that you hit the nail on the head around the 6 or 7 out of 10 for AEW. I would put NXT maybe a little bit above it tonight, but both shows are going great head to head. I think the miss of the show for AEW for me was the Britt Baker and Rio match. There was a lot of, it looked like miscommunication in that match.
A lot of timidness out of the women so far all around. A lot of timidness, I would say.
Yeah, it was really awkward. It seemed like they didn't have any real communication in the ring, like they didn't know what to exactly do. If you remember when Rio put her legs over the rope, it looked like they were just like, I don't know what they were doing. It looked like they were just
It looked like Britt pushed her there, get to the, she actually helped her get there.
Yeah, it looked like I didn't understand. I think they just didn't understand what they were doing. I think there was just a big communication failure in that match. So it was just really not entertaining for me whatsoever. But however,
I thought they recovered a bit at the end and then getting into the Britt thing in the mouth. So I thought they did a better job by the end of saving it. But yeah, 70% of it was kind of like, this is weird for me.
Yeah,
that's how I felt.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was probably the low light of the show for me. Great to see Kenny Omega actually get a win tonight.
Yeah,
you know that.
But he even gets it in a weird way. It was a 2-on-1 when he got it.
Oh yeah, I mean it was so weird. It's so odd because for me, you know, I've been a Kenny Omega fan for quite a while, and I watched a lot of his New Japan work, and guy was putting on monster matches, and it's so early, like Jake was saying earlier, I think we're like, the third weekend, or is it the third week now?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think
we're just the third.
I'm shocked too. I'm shocked like you. They're doing this with Kenny Omega, but I think it's working for him in a way to create this story for him. So I think it's cool, but it is. We would have never guessed that this would be where Kenny is.
You would think that Kenny would be, pushed to the top immediately just because of his matches with Okada, which are just some of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. But at the same time, I guess I can kind of understand, because I don't know how to say this, but I guess I'm kind of glad that it's happening like this in a way too, because it does give a chance to highlight other unknowns, because I think somebody donated a minute ago and even said like people are getting really invested in the unknowns. And, like that match we saw tonight between Darby Allin and Chris Jericho, which, Darby Allin is just such a breath of fresh air. I love the guy. Very interesting guy to watch for me. So I can see what they're doing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it does give some highlight to more of the unknowns. But I feel very awkward about the Kenny Omega thing. I'm not going to stay on here too much longer, but I just wanted to call in and tell you guys, great job on the show. Love watching you guys. Joe, keep up the great work. If WWE 2K20 is a buggy mess, I don't think it can be as worse as 2K18, so I hope not. And on top of that, one more thing. NXT, I know you're going to watch it. The match that I just saw between Ciampa and Angel Garza, phenomenal match. Angel Garza really put on a great show tonight. You're going to be really surprised by that one. So anyways, guys, have a great night. Have a great night chat. Everybody have a great sleep.
Thank you, man. Good shit. Good call.
Yeah, I thought that match was just really fast paced. I mean, it was like 3 minutes and 15 seconds in all.
Really?
So for it being a really good match, I don't want to shit on his opinion. I mean, to me, it was like really, really high octane in the first 90 seconds, and then we got to the finish, and it was like, that was it.
Wow.
Ciampa got in pretty much zero offense to the end, and hit his DDT there. What is it? The Willow's Bell.
Yeah.
And that was it. Yeah.
Really?
Tonight, pretty much it. The whole night had a lot of those short matches. Again, Io Shirai took on Caden Carter, but that was to build to Shirai getting challenged by Rhea Ripley. So I mean that's what we were getting into for that. That'll be a great match. But I mean that was pretty much the bulk of the night. And then Keith Lee took on Dijakovic, and winner would get the #1 contender shot for the NXT North American Championship. But Roderick Strong broke that up to a no contest, and now it's going to be a triple threat next week. So he thought he was screwing over the match, but really it leads to a no contest. That's when I said, William Regal walked out and, said he was being a bit clever, and now it'll be a triple threat. So, and then the end of the night, we ended up getting Tegan Knox returning, which is good, but that was quick. And then, of course, we had Pete Dunne take on Damian Priest. That would definitely be match of the night. That was a good 15-minute match. Those guys, really, left nothing left in the ring. They really killed each other, and there was a lot of strong style, like intense action. And that's why I was, calling in as the match was ending. So it was definitely worth checking out. Surprise ending there. But all in all, most of the matches were 3 minutes or shorter. So 8 matches for the night, and I think at least 5 of them ended in 3 minutes.
That is bizarre. I will check out NXT. We will do a review on it. I'll have that up tomorrow.
6 of them ended in less than 3 minutes.
Jesus, really? What?
Yeah.
774, what's up?
What's up, Joe? It's my first time calling in. Big fan, man.
Hell yeah, man. It's a lot of first-timers tonight, so that's good news.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I have a lot of family in Boston, too, so.
That's cool.
Yeah.
In Boston or, like, around Boston?
No, in Boston.
Okay. Yeah, I know a lot of people in there. A lot of friends in South Boston.
Yeah, small world.
Bunch of Irish fucking cocksuckers. No, I'm just kidding. No, what's up, man? What do you got?
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really watch AEW yet, so I want to talk about what happened on Raw. Is that all right?
All right, yeah, go ahead. Sure. We've talked a lot about AEW already, so we'll talk about Raw. You got to watch AEW though, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I just want to talk about them getting all like their mid card for Raw looks good, but let's be real. Like, what are they really gonna do with that? Andrade, Buddy Murphy, Aleister Black, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Cedric Alexander, AJ Styles. Like,
yeah. Have you enjoyed those guys over the last year at all?
I mean, they haven't really done much.
And they won't. They still won't. It'll be the same thing.
Apparently, Paul Heyman was really big on Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy. Those were the two that he really wanted. And in order to get Aleister, he had to take Andrade and Zelina because they're together. And that means he also had to get Charlotte. It was like a 4-person package.
Jesus.
So, but all just to get Aleister Black over. That's But he's really high on those two, and he has plans for the mid card. He wants to showcase people that have this great talent that haven't been utilized.
All WWE is a mid card. That's their problem.
Yeah, I mean this is just what's going around again. But still, it's we'll see. I mean the draft left a lot to be desired, and especially with all those free agent signings afterwards. The whole thing was just, who could be pulled in when. I really liked the video you put up with, just saying how confusing it is and how there's a real ratings flux incoming because they just confuse the hell out of the fans.
Yeah.
And that's the truth because I didn't even realize, as much as I'm into this world as much as possible, that they had pools of people that they could choose from. I didn't know if that was overall or just per show or per night. Or
Nobody knows what's going on.
They make it so convoluted.
What
and then
is
you're
happening?
Hearing about, oh, well, now Rollins is working double duty. Well, no, he's not. We pulled him out of that match now. Okay, so now he's no longer the captain for Team Hogan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's your number one captain. Oh, wait, now he's in a match with Bray Wyatt. Well, he's going to do both? No, now he's out of that match. Oh, the Kabuki Warriors, they're heel. Oh, wait, no, they're heel. Natalya, she's a face, and she hates Lacey Evans. They almost killed each other the other day. I'm Natalya. I want to pick my partner. We've had problems, but Lacey Evans. What? What the fuck?
And Lacey Evans is on SmackDown, and so is Bray Wyatt. And how the hell did you get into the Firefly Funhouse? And then you burnt it down, which is the first time you've burnt it down. And then, Tyson Fury is getting paid $15 million. No, he's not. It's only $6 million. Oh, wait, no, it's $2 million.
Who cares?
No, it's $6 million.
He sucks. Who cares?
That's too much.
He broke a pen the other night. What does that mean? What the fuck was that? Like,
should have been a gimmick pen if that was the case.
Was it a joke? Like, what did I miss the joke?
I don't know what they were trying to get into. And then Fox is upset that they can't have the ALCS game on because I guess they didn't think this through, but the Astro Yankees game got rained out on Wednesday night tonight.
Right.
So now it's moved to Friday at 7. Well, they can't put it on Fox because that's where SmackDown is, so they're putting that on Fox Sports 1. But then Fox Sports 1 already had a game going. They had Northwestern Ohio State was going to be there. So now that got moved to a Big Ten network.
That would have done 6 to 7 million viewers on Fox. On FS1, it will do 2 million less.
Exactly. So Fox is unable to pick up the ALCS game or the college football game because of SmackDown.
And the WWE SmackDown difference will only be 500,000. So they're gonna lose 2.5 million market share, or whatever you want to call it, come that Friday. Wow.
Now, once the MLB season ends, they're going to start airing SmackDown on Fridays on Fox Sports 1 for the West Coast Live.
Oh, my
God. So it'll be aired at 5 p.m. there. This way they can free up their 8 o'clock slot, too. But it's just... At least fans will be able to watch it live on the West Coast because USA doesn't offer that.
Yeah, that is good for them because that did suck for them when they did that. Now, they still have problems with satellite, but whatever.
Yeah, but still, the whole thing is just a huge mess at this point. No one knows what's up, what's down.
What a fucking nightmare.
Is it the pussy or the anus? I don't know, but we're still getting fucked.
We have on the phone with us now...
don't turn the lights on.
A $25 producer of the Joe Cronin Show. I had to put him through. We'll get back to more calls in a minute, but he's a $25 producer of the Joe Cronin Show. On Patreon, you can be one too, and God knows I need you. Plus, you get 30 hours of bonus content if you become a patron of just even $5 a month. But $25 producers, you get your name down below and all the credit down here in the description box. But here he is, my buddy, Triple M. What's up, Triple M?
What's going on, baby?
What's up?
I just remembering last week, as soon as I saw that follow on Twitch, I almost came, bro, at work, in the office. No, but it seems like as soon as you all started talking about Raw, since the mood just switched, the good mood turned into, oh, fuck, oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, let's focus on the positives on AEW. Not the best show, but it's still better than anything they can produce. And it's still a passing grade, which is all I could ask for. As long as it's good enough, that's fine by me. They're new. Obviously, not every show's going to hit a home run, but it's still solid. The street fight wasn't the best. And being in Philly, I thought it'd be better than it was, but I'm not going to hate on it too much.
Yeah, I mean, even with Joe being upset with the lack of some of it, I feel like they were ingenious enough to like amp up the creativity in the match that it took my mind away from them not being overly hardcore.
Yes.
We get tables all the time and stuff like that. Seeing, he's got his hands, pinned behind his back, and now he's still able to get in some incredible aerial offense like that friggin' moonsault and stuff. It's like, oh shit. We get tables all the time. This is different. This is new. Usually somebody in that predicament is just fucked. So I like what they did, with that, and it kind of defied what expectations I had previously.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Also, I want to say something right now. I'm taking back what I said about Bray Wyatt being the best thing in wrestling. I switched it to Chris Jericho, my boy, the GOAT.
Hard to argue that,
Real quick, Triple M, I also just put up a poll. So if you guys have access to your Twitter accounts right now, @CorruptedPod. It's down here. It's @CorruptedPod. I just put it up. Did you enjoy last week? Raw got 90% no, 80 and like 10% yes. But go to my Twitter, which is on your screen right now, @CorruptedPod, and vote if you liked AEW tonight or not. Go ahead, Triple M. I'm sorry.
That 10% surprising enough for me.
Yeah.
I think that should be a 0%. I don't know how anyone can actually enjoy that shit. But, there's some that do. There's still some positives to it. But just the negatives, to me, always just overshadow the positives. It just kills it for me. Too many negatives kills the positives.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, because Raw will do something every now and again, or SmackDown, you'll be like, holy shit, that's great. Then the rest of the show is just like, what am I watching? And that's the thing. Tonight, there was more positives than negatives.
Actually,
anytime there was something, I was like, oh, this is cool. This works.
Yeah. All right. Oh, I'm losing connection. I have customers about to come in, so I love you guys. Sorry, I got to leave short. Joe, stick a pull up my ass. How about that?
All right, baby. It's going right up there.
Hell yeah. I love you guys.
Thanks, Triple M.
Thank you, broski.
I am looking right now for the poll that I put up for Raw, but I'm working on it. I haven't found it yet. I'll find it soon.
Too much tweeted in between.
Anything left from you, Jake, for tonight? We pretty much emptied the tank. There might be something left, maybe. I don't know.
No, all in all, I'm thoroughly impressed with what we got and appreciative that they are still listening to the audience, trying new things, and I'm looking forward to next week. That alone is a new feeling that I haven't felt in quite some time. Anticipating and excitement. WWE has this perpetual loop, like I said last week, and I was kind of joking around, but I was talking with Trailbound earlier. I said, it's you get your hopes up, you get disappointed, you start to believe again, you get your hopes up, then you get disappointed, and it's just that never-ending circle, and that's the unfortunate way that WWE seems to be. So
my son Finn came downstairs. My youngest kid came downstairs with me tonight, and he enjoyed. He was cheering. He was cheering for shit. He was cheering for who was it? The guys in Jericho's Inner Circle. God damn it.
Oh,
LAX.
Santana.
Yeah, Santana. Yeah. He my son liked Santana tonight.
And Ortiz.
And Ortiz. No, but he liked Santana. It was weird. He was like Santana. 803's on the phone. Hello.
Hello.
Hey man, what's up? You're live. How you doing?
Oh, hey, what's up, Joe? I think this is like my third time or fourth time calling.
Oh yeah. What's up?
Yeah. Yeah. So I didn't watch like much of AEW. I started tuning in like around the end of Omega, Kenny, and Hangman. I'm I thought the ending was kind of great. It kind of shocked me just a little bit when I saw Moxley turn on Pac.
But it wouldn't have shocked you if you watched my prediction show. No, I'm just kidding. No. Yeah, no, it was it was pretty cool.
Yeah, but I was kind of getting a little confused-ish. Like, I don't really know much, but, like, I was kind of getting confused. Is Moxley, like, a tweener or, like, a face or something? Like, I don't really know.
Yeah, right now, Moxley is a little confusing. It's like he's, if you were to draw a line and you would say, like, face, heel, like, Moxley would be, like, Moxley's sort of right in that middle area, maybe leaning to the heel side just slightly right now because he's going up against Kenny, who's a full face. So, a little bit.
Yeah, that really kind of confused me.
He's a libertarian. Cool. He's a libertarian. He's not a Republican or Democrat. He's like a libertarian or something. Like, I don't know.
Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Yeah. And about the street fight, like, when I first saw it, at first I was like, oh, yeah, this is going to be great. This is going to be cool. Until I saw, like, they had rope breaks, and I was like, wait, is that part of a street fight? Because I was trying to, like, kind of confused that they add, like, rope breaks at the match.
Apparently, people are saying that the commentary team said that those count in this street fight. That's what I'm being told. I didn't hear it, and I was confused, and the fans were confused because they can't hear the commentary, so they started yelling, it's a street fight.
Yeah, and of course the fans don't hear the commentary either.
And they wanted tables, they didn't get that. They wanted a fucking violence, they didn't get it.
Yeah, they wanted it to be real hardcore.
Yeah, and when I heard, like, they wanted tables, I actually, like, I knew that Chris wouldn't get them because he was a heel.
Exactly.
But I would understand if Darby got it.
Right.
But, it didn't happen.
No, absolutely. I said that earlier in the beginning of this review. I was like, well, Chris ain't going to get them. And when I saw the time, I was like, there's no time. I thought it would have been really good if Darby Allin had pulled out a table that had some barbed wire wrapped around it, and he put it in the ring, and he went through it through a power bomb. That would have gotten the crowd, that would have popped the crowd enough. You know what I mean? That would have been at least enough. And they never really reached that expectation that I thought. Now, maybe it's a street fight, so they didn't want to go there. Maybe they want to save like something like that for like a Texas death match or something more, sounds crazier. But I just felt like they sort of missed the mark with what the Philly fans really wanted. If they had gone there, I just think there's no defense of it. I think they had a nice little 6, 7 out of 10 main event, but it really should have been a 9 if they had really gone there with a street fight. I just think that they missed knocking it out of the park. I think they missed a home run in the main event.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was kind of a bummer, but it was a good match.
Yeah, it was still good for what they did. If it had been a regular match and they had his hands tied up and maybe the referee didn't DQ it and they went with that could have been a really good story. But because it was a street fight, yeah, it was part of the story, but I don't know, man. I just feel like they needed to give the fans a little bit something extra, especially when the fans all saw AEW Dark and saw Joey Janela and Omega tear it up with chairs and tables and ladders, and they had a fucking street fight. This was
that match was like I watched it right before AEW, and I was like kind of hyped because I was like, oh, there's a street fight coming up. It's probably going to be good like this one. Until I saw and kind of got bummed out, but it was a great match.
Yeah, it was still great, man. It was still good, still way better than WWE right now. But again, like just a little bit of a like, why didn't they go there? They were in fucking Philly. Great call. Real quick, let's throw another one on before we play the rest of these deals here. We have an unknown caller. Unknown caller.
Joe Cronin, what's up, man?
What's up, baby? You sound familiar. Who is this?
I'm the guy you thought was a troll at first, but I'm the question guy now.
Yeah, we're going to have to get devilish on your ass. Let's get all devilish on your ass tonight. Let's get wet.
I just got one question.
Hello?
Yeah, I just got one question.
Yeah. What do you got?
Do you think like it's weird that I'm starting not to like hardcore matches anymore, and I just want to see traditional wrestling?
Well, why is that? Like, where are you seeing hardcore matches that you're sick of it? Like, what do you mean?
Well, it just seems like whenever I watch indie promotions and stuff like that, I've noticed they have more of those, just a bunch of hardcore matches, and I'm just kind of just tired of them now.
There's nothing like a match that tells a story, that has emotion, that is exciting to watch, that isn't hardcore in a way. I don't know if you count Blood, but I'm talking about when I think of some of my favorite early WrestleMania matches, and I talk about these matches all the time, but when I think about Roddy Piper versus Bret Hart, that was a great match. I love it at WrestleMania 8. It had a little blood. When I think of Randy Savage versus Ric Flair at WrestleMania 8, loved that match, had a little bit of blood. I think of Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret Hart in the submission match, WrestleMania 13, had some blood. I love those matches, and those were considered kind of a little bit hardcore-ish, but I love matches like that above anything. So I know what you're saying, but I mean, I guess don't watch. I mean, I don't know, man. A lot of indie matches that I watch don't even have hardcore stuff a lot of times, and
it's like it's just like when I was, it just felt cool to see a hardcore match, but now it's just like it's overdone.
Yeah, like I don't like CZW. I don't like CZW. Well, they're not like how they used to be, which was like, all right, we're gonna maul someone with a cheese grater and then cut them with glass and all that stuff. I don't like that, but I like when there's one match on the card every once in a while that's like fucking hardcore. Like, so you didn't like Joey Janela and Omega the other night? Did you see that?
I actually haven't watched the show yet, so but that's news to me. So, I don't know. I'm just tired of matches with weapons in it.
Yeah, I mean, but if you're not, why don't you watch AEW then?
I do watch AEW. I just haven't seen the episode yet.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, because I mean, it sounds like we've solved your problem here. There's no real. I don't think there's been that much hardcore in AEW yet. You're certainly not. You're certainly going to get none of it really in WWE for the most part.
Yeah.
So it sounds like your problem solved. Watch WWE and AEW and watch NXT because they won't have hardcore either.
No, I like NWA and MLW.
Oh yeah, well then you're gonna. Oh yeah, then I'd watch. Yeah, you've got. I guess I don't get it because, yeah, just watch MLW, NWA, NXT, all these promotions. What are you watching that's hardcore? Really? I mean, CZW. That's about.
It just appears every now and then. I just don't want to see it anymore. That's all.
Well, don't watch it. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about?
Just stay away from it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because CZW, when you get the guys who are like, oh, I got the stapler going, oh, we got the nail going, oh, we got the cheese grater, oh, we got the light tube, taped together over a baseball bat that's attached to a sledgehammer on fire.
You have to search hard to find that stuff.
I mean, that's what Dean was all about, those death matches.
That's why Joey Janela got hired.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you watch one every now and again, you're like, all right, that was intense but cool. But the gore for gore's sake, you're like, it doesn't bother me. It's not disturbing, nothing like that. It just doesn't do anything for me. I mean, I look at it as more of a serious thing. Like, Christ, those guys got to go get so many fucking stitches, and they just wrestled in front of 7 people that 3 of them are on their phones. Like, I know that's the business for you, but I don't know. That shit used to drive me nuts.
Apparently, we're having a burst cyclone here.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was possibly going to be a microburst, but
where? I mean, Leah's telling me here.
Yeah. All East Coast is having a huge storm at this point. So
right now?
Yeah, it was supposed to touch down. Last time we had a microburst.
What is bomb out? What does bomb out mean? The Weather Channel says northeast coastal storm could bomb out. What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Like what the? I'm sorry. I'm very concerned after Leah just said we're having a cyclone thing, and I'm like, all right, that sounds kind of scary. But then
we have a high wind warning here.
So I go to the website and it says northeast coastal storm could bomb out. What the fuck does with a big red thing? What does that mean? Kind of scaring me. Like what?
I think it means because it's intense winds touchdown. Yeah, ours has a mild, winds of 65 miles per hour, just mild. Wow. Now that's the lower winds, and then it's supposed to increase. So, last time we had the microburst was, remember we had put up all the footage where people, like the trees went through all their homes, and I put up all that footage on Twitter.
Jesus, and I haven't gotten that.
Awful. So
I've been trying to get that giant tree removed in the backyard, but it's $1,800.
Yeah,
and it's like, dude, I swear to God, that thing's gonna fucking kill us. And I told Lee, I was like, we gotta get that thing out of here because there's gonna be like a fucking hurricane or something, and it's gonna take that thing down and kill us because it's a white pine, which is like they're shitty. They come down. White pines are like fucking
they come
weak.
down easier. And
yeah. What the fuck does bomb out mean?
The gentleman that sent us that update in the chat before, Bird, about the AEW Dark counting wins and losses, that was from the New York City Comic-Con panel that they had.
Right.
So Matt Jackson said that at the New York Comic-Con. He went ahead and sent me that clip.
Wow.
So they do count wins or losses on AEW Dark.
All right. Well, there you go.
So it's official. It's not just a tidbit of a rumor.
So, but except they didn't count Joey Janela.
Yeah, because that was a blackout match. And bomb out adamant just means hurricane type shit. So.
Wow. Okay, that's kind of fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I don't think because ours was never like a tornado, but it was just such high intense winds that it's mimics a tornado.
Right.
It's weird, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically when from my understanding, it's like when multiple storms they meet, and when they touch, the winds cause like a cyclone essentially.
Okay, here it is. The second low could strengthen quickly, enough to undergo bombogenesis, a term meteorologists use to classify surface lows whose pressure drops by at least 24 millibars and less. What the fuck? High wind warnings are in effect into Thursday.
So bomb out means like bottom out. So when the pressure bottoms out, then it, fucking causes huge winds.
Yeah, so this will be interesting. Rain was so this is going to be in effect until about midnight tomorrow night. Wow. This is kind of freaky. I mean, I'll tell you what, bro, that's some crazy shit. When I was talking to the tree guy the other day, the good news, I guess, is if there is any, when I was talking to the guy about the tree, he was like, well, you really don't have to worry about the white pine, I don't think, coming down, he said, unless winds like 100 miles an hour, it should be fine. He's like, it's really about 115 to 120 where it's kind of like after that, it's like anybody's guess, and I was like, okay. But I'd like to get those trees down. If anybody's seen my tree in my backyard, and for the people that are new to the channel, I just bought a house in January after years of saving, and we were living in my mother's house saving for years. I got laid off from my job, and but you guys made that possible, so thank you. But it's like, so we moved in here, and to all the people that have been watching for a long time, it's like people were so happy for us and everything. It was like quite an amazing thing. I know that new people don't know what I'm talking about, but people who have been watching me for years, 6 years, 7 years, know how long we've been, cramped in a house with my mom and that house saving money. And even though I was working multiple jobs and whatever. So, yeah, so it's a big thing. But I got this goddamn tree in the backyard here that's like fucking.
Adamant says, put motor oil on the tree. It'll die.
Yeah, I don't want it to die. Then it will come
down. You don't want it to fall over, though.
Yeah, then it will die and it will fucking get
rot
weak.
Away and tip.
Yeah, it'll get weak. Then the wind will knock it. Then the branch will kill us. You want to see what the tree is for the people that don't know what it looks like? Wait till you see this fucking thing. It's fucking like a goddamn trident or whatever.
It's massive.
Look at this. That's the tree. See that? See how it splits 3 ways? Like, this is fucking terrifying. Like, we're dead. This is massive, dude. This is a massive fucking tree right behind the house. Like, this is death. I mean, and then we sit on a hill, too, so it's like, it's coming down on the house. Like, there's no way about it. I mean, I guess the only luck you would have is if it snapped up here somewhere, but it's like, dude, this fucking tree is terrifying. And it's like $1,800 to get it cut down or something. Or I think it was $2,000 to haul all the wood away on top of cutting it. So I've been looking at options and having people come in for quotes and stuff, but Like, I think this thing has to go, like, immediately. Like, I'm doing this before I ever get the driveway paved, if I even ever can do that. Like, this is number one on the list of things to do. Get rid of this tree. It's fucking terrifying. All right, we got some donations to clean up here. Let's see. Sam Sears, thanks for subbing to the channel. What's up? Welcome to the channel. We're wet. It's almost been a year. Can you believe that? Yeah, Hector Gutierrez. What's up, man? It's amazing, dude. Holy shit. I'm still so happy, man. I owe
Shit bomb.
to you guys. Thank you.
Clown Marco, stunt all you want, but that spinning DDT combo he did was insane.
Brian Blackburn. I'm not trying to clown him. I'm not trying to discredit him. I'm just saying he is a small guy. Like, it just doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean everyone's not equal. If you treat everybody equal, then what's the point in anything? It's not as surprising when he wins, and it's, yeah, you just can't do that. I like Marco Stunt. I definitely respect him. He's a damn good wrestler. He's making it somewhat believable that he's a small guy, but he had a few miscues tonight, and he's a small guy. I mean, that's all there is to it. I'm not crapping on him. I didn't say he was bad at all.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
To the dipshits in the chat, the kid who wanted to talk about Raw is obviously a kid.
Yeah.
Fucking relax. Someone that young and 1,000 people are listening is intimidating. Give him some credit, probably has bigger balls than you. Why don't you call the fuck in?
Yeah, Sasha's Mouthblood, thanks for the $3. Yeah, I'm not going to shit on somebody, you know. I mean, I get it. You know, it's towards the end of the show. You know, people want to talk about whatever, that's fine. You know, I keep calling up. I didn't have a problem with it, so no big deal.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Fuck this rain. I have a basement apartment and it's flooding.
Really? Holy shit, DC Derek. I'm sorry, bro. I'm in the basement right now. It's not going to flood here, I don't think, but the Charles River is right around the corner, which I didn't know. It's the end of it, but it's still there.
Floods. It sucks.
Oh God, if it flooded here, well, if the oceans ever rose like they're supposed to eventually, or we have a crazy tsunami, I would have beachfront property over here, because it would rise right up.
Where am I living? Where am I living?
Oh my God!
Where am I living?
Oh my God!
Right now.
America.
Hey Joe, I was wondering your thoughts on this. I've started to not like hardcore matches anymore, and I like the traditional style. Part of the problem is that Ryback aggressively forces me to sit down and watch him use barbed wire on Debe, and it's too rough.
Oh, thank you, caller, for the 1050. Yeah, it was so weird. Like, I'm sick of hardcore. Where do you watch this hardcore? Oh, you know, those indie matches. Which ones? I don't know. But I watch MLW and NWA now. Well, then just watch those.
Yeah.
Don't watch fucking... By the way, caller, thanks for the 1050. And shout out to Soundwave, who still controls the digital championship for the night. The top donation of the stream, the largest one, was $29. So thanks to Soundwave 92. And we cleaned up on them. So that's it. My closing statement. I'm gonna settle with a 6 out of 10 tonight for AEW. And I have nothing else to say, I don't think, about it. Anything from you, Jake?
No, that's it. Out of nowhere tomorrow night, and then Friday is Monetize This.
All right, tomorrow night, Out of Nowhere, right here. We'll be here doing the Out of Nowhere podcast, talk about all wrestling. And Friday night, yes, Monetize This. Live over on my other channel, Corrupted Nation. Subscribe there for Monetize This at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, U.S. Friday night. And tomorrow night's 11 p.m. Eastern Time, U.S. right here for Out of Nowhere as well. And check out my Patreon. Thanks to Soundwave. Looks like he's going to take home the belt tonight. And check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Bonus stuff coming to that as well. Plus, you'll get all the alerts when I go live, usually. And we have a great little... we have the JCS Army is strong over there. 387 patrons. 387 patrons. We provide more Patreon content than anybody else I know on Patreon by far. By far. Compare it to other people, it's not close, I don't think. Especially for mostly I do everything. Mostly. Yeah, I don't think you'll find anybody else that does anything like that. So check it out. And I put a poll up on Twitter about what you thought about AEW tonight. I put it up a little bit late, but let me check on that, and I'll let you know what it's at. And it looks like, yeah, we're going to have a weird next day here, it looks like. 127 votes. Did you enjoy AEW? 83% said yes. So, I mean, it was a yes or no question. I would say yes as well. You know, it's the reverse of WWE. The WWE got 88% no.
Yeah, it's literally just the opposite.
It's like the flip-flop of it, yeah. You know, with a yes or no, it's leaves a lot of leeway for a show that's a 6 out of 10 to be a yes. You know, WWE had that chance too, but they didn't get it. They got the reverse score of that, which I guess is understandable. And a lot of people reminding us, like you said, Woke and PETA, that Hollywood Hogan was WCW World Champion in the NWO when there was the hottest thing, and he was 48 years old. So Hogan was 48 years old. Big whoop-de-doo. And I agree, because you need to have a guy that's going to be recognizable, put over that thing. And again, my son came down with me earlier, and he was having a good time watching wrestling with me. He's 3 years old, but he's having a good time. Check this out.
You won?
Yes. He's happy about the win.
The Santana guy?
They're angrier than ever. They're street thugs. They're pit bulls amongst pit bulls.
I like people stuff.
Pit bull, give me 5.
Kick your ass.
Yeah.
And that's why they asked me to tell you.
My kid's loving it.
They want to beat the top team.
My kid's loving it.
To Santana and Ortiz coming to the inner
It's
circle.
you. What are you watching?
Yeah, baby. You paid for his diapers, everyone. No. Oh, the beginning to AEW. Yeah, I put that up on Twitter, too. I was like, it was me watching the beginning of the show on my giant projector screen that was only $80. And there's a burn-in on it already. And Leah was like, why is there a burn-in? I'm like, because the projector was $80. Like, it's a piece of shit. But it still looks cool when you have the sound blaring and a giant projector screen. It's a lot of fun. I recommend it to anybody. Happy birthday, Kenny Omega. And, yeah, I think that's about it. I thought maybe I had something else to play, but I think that's about all I've got for you. Check out my Twitter. I tweeted a bunch of shit. Check out ODB's Indiegogo for her food truck that caught fire. Maybe give her some love there if you want. And I'm done. The Joe Cronin Show audio is back on Spotify for the people that watch and listen audio-wise over there. And that's it. I'm done. Jake, good night, baby. At Countdown Ended for Jake on Twitter, and and Countdown Ended on YouTube for Jake.
Yeah. We'll see you tomorrow for Out of Nowhere.
Goodbye.
This is Wardlow from AEW, and you're watching The Joe Cronin Show.
A wrestling podcast with attitude.